And that's Joe Mettle singing about the saving grace of God. Say Yesu enwu anji enkwa. Anke daso yete nkwa sumu. Enka no mabone ena afa ye nomu. Eno mabone ena diye ko ediye ba. Say krono. Say eye dwaman. Say eye akohwibra. Ena nka ebia yegusu a yebo. Na adum ninti. Bidding any simulation and open more kwaba ever happy morning show. So see Nantidia na ACP retired Victor Tando Eddie Road, city bits no what the brain yebetwaso na the headlines of the newspapers no abre adofo and pay Medino so if you are near Jimbre the sports update abroman for ye trending issues no so ye ho ensem so abre oman for social media nkoma wo mu edi ye ho ensem abre oman for ene ibesua eno bebre Medino no so enti metu safo say woni eni nkomo woni ahwembo mu transport fares echo up by 15%. Nyamepa eye memenda de na atiesima ye nyina no obia ebetua 15% increase ebisa say anye bia no why crado wahoden etisen usikasem etisen. How would it impact on our plans or budget awaye for the rest of the month what ye nim no fuel prices in so de ye to esura na elcro UTAG one more edi almost strike no almost suspended for 2 weeks and then ebedi eho enkomo several other matters are eba ni nyina no anope ye de ni ADHA adwasafo eho ensensem near ekoso ewo NPP party ni mum. The revelations that are coming as to why her absence from the commencement of the year no enyane yebobo ho an entiase se mami about the saying and yenta ye hu no parliament no eho ensem ye nyina ebebran amanfo anope Medino zobeka eno le hyase na yedi nkomo efa dudufie womo school bia won ma ye jano na eda hokwa ene ebia ensa aka headmaster nso a yeni de bedi nkomo tiawa na afi ya to so na yedi nkomo enti ye mo akwaba na de ye ka wa ne se ene fa bible na bomodia ne bi sa quotation we say na kan na fanantia no pay minim say upie no one kasa fa ho adwenem by kind the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 1 to 3 or say first of all then I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and for all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. This is good, and it is pleasing in the sight of God. Was it bompaye Emma Womoa, Womo etie dwemo Womo edi enso. Was it bompaye Emma wiase ni penyina. Eno Onyankopon na ni eso, eno emu ena ni jeo. And it's all ye MPP niyo, so ye ndisi niyo. Yes, bompaye Emma abaimum penyimfo, bompaye Emma ahimfo, bompaye Emma wasofo, bompaye Emma womo play leadership role. Oh, abrabo say your company, say baby we adwuma, say you feel. Don't forget to pray for those in leadership positions. Yanko nemfa ACP eninkomo neba yatwaso. Yanko homaso na any ACP retired Victor Tando ending komo na on fire a road safety bits na embre ACP no fancy mo akwaba.
Major so this year.
Jampumbo ko de.
I mean tell the boss patrol.
Yo, underpaid there. Only a Nancy.
Yo, me don't say. It's my form more happy FM. I salute all of you. It's some say. I'm not sorry and more doing a prayer. The demon would just money somebody their boy moment. I say it. I sent to don't forget and console and come home. Uncle some tremusium. Uncle some tip name so and trem. It's here for motive me and a pay my money na chin. I'm watching this shit and mobile says me dear so. Oh, happy FM 98.9. I pay any boss. There must have me a show and a general. All my body kid domini being Isaac Ade, Justice Nati, Sefa Dankwa, Raymond Yamado, Ewa Fatisha Ibu Ali, Pastor Thomas, and Director Kwame Damte. I saw them for near the year. Only the year. Chekoda one more hand boni so be entry. What mama the party in it to 2 and 9 to 3 and sir. I said, no, mamma, I can't hear him say, and ye in India and then ye papa be. Nemum a year atom. As I don't dear. And no man ever tackles for a moment, 30 on church and 1 pay, that by his grace, we are alive. Not my record, Shafon, for any other so edited and come. Make your penny, danger. And I'm saying, almost Ukraine, that's mine. Penco Mamma Chan of Benjamin Shramo. The diner, or no, the braca. So make your other discussing, and I'm a Mamunachi. Penny Aubrey, Omensa Sabaho, Senior Tutor's Office. When I salute you this morning, I may encounter no Chishrao. I mean, Chiamia, Bema, Bampo, Honor Assistant Secretary for Napo. And Jan Kamadishi. Bema, good morning. One Apasian Kuma Editum, a financial secretary. Which is Yamina, no pay, Yamin Kamunamo, which is Shamo. Give us a fraha, I don't tell that. Good morning. Any adult Ashonman. Good morning. Ushapo, Adiachia, Yasuri, Hini Ekro. As you quite because saying any Banswa Yaban said. Ushapo, a year better, a year a better, and Croponibi. The may wood in a packer be sure. Hey, Adio, Amibua, Ochning, Ochin Yawi, and Yeko Roma Southern Police Training School. Tesano Police Training School and a Taffet Police Depot. Roma Southern Ochina. A Chief Superintendent Asari. Kano, known in the Ghana Police in sports. Sports. Omo Tumika, Omo Bobo, Omina Nomishase. Bema Mua Pa. And so Bema will buy a way to be credit and tap. A pajama, but then call. Ochina, Omo Yana, sorry, a Roman. Sorry, Police Training School and a Police Depot. If you know, Chronicle. You have a president, Penny Boachia, seeing an uncle, and Kujamo. And your uncle, Ante Gertrude Asamoah, on when you grab a Ducian Kakrebi. And also, Bema, we have a common petty. And maybe if you had a member there, bay. And obeying who be better, I wish Roma, a president, sorry, I wish Romans, a president, sorry, Miss Remo, I wish president, sorry. Oh, and obeying who be better, if you are, which I thought baby, near to know, I could see. And to be made that, and Kai Bono, you know, Mommy and Cock, in Kujam nearby, in Kujabucha for, in Kujam, the caprici phones, in Kujam, I could know that. No, I don't know. For your back, your quanswa. And I don't need a insurance once. Insurance once with the Mr. Mother. At the same year, can driving license once. Driving license, once more can add in Papa. It's more ya say broad driving license in Papa. And run you trip to say, pushing any DV from penny for 80 million a car without driving license. It be sad. And confirm why we're 20 photo no. The more license and Cassia, the man with DVL, and no, and as we edit a place for an DVL from penny for you. Let's say, be being putting, that's all the license number 2 of 1. As some show, maybe almost buy telephone number and BB also. The penny being ho, I'll bet me I did drive any license, so I don't know. We ran a dear any UJJ. They say, we ran a dear any UJJ. At the way you know, Oko LI. 2180, the catch up also at the 9 and so on. When you know production of driving license, you know, or hobby. Yanko Trosso and kind. Yes, in Fintuanamo. And we, I am a priest for a madaba for another. It's a mommy and shadows. Then they say about insurance as well. Insurance, a cat beer. Yeti, a day a 2 carnos. It is 2 carnos. Then post a BBC. There is someone back at the sourcing insurance. Now, Emra, a woman, said, Moto Biara, a bobo ya, Pradia, Kai Biara, and Nam Quaso or Ghana. It's a winner insurance answer and what for crowns. Insurance. It always has a driving license in I quite only driving license, which means to say, Okano insurance in one. wotumi fɛ mfa ɛkwan so wotumi nka sɛ metu kwan ɛbɛyɛ na ɛwu dabi biribiam na ɛsɛ insurance ne di mu ansa na sɛ wobɛsi kwan so a wosi kwan so ɛsɛ nti sɛ ne driver license hyɛ no teɛ no saa na insurance nso teɛ kaka ne bɛwu a wotumi kɔ na ɔma renew ama wo sɛ renew ma wo a ɛbɛwu ɛnyɛ wu yɛ pɛpɛ no ɛsɛ foforɔ no sɛ frase egu da kokoraa na insurance no kuma horo pii na ne hia ma driver fo na mbɛka ho asɛm baako ɛfrɛ ne third party ɛno ne buo no ɛwɔ fam kakra kama paa na nso ɛsɛ bɛbata ho no ɛnyɛ dɛ wode kaa kɔbɔ obi wode kaa kɔpem obi anaa bi wokɔsɛ obi ade a enipa no a wakɔsɛ na na wode kaa kɔbɔ no ɔno insurance no ɛbɛpɛ biribi ɛde ama no asɔdasen na wode bible biribi wonya hwee ɛma esiesie wo kaa nyɛ hwee dabi third party no ɛsɛ nipa ɔtɔ so mmiɛnsa no ɛna yɛdwen no ho na ɛnyɛ wo nhyehyɛ a ɛwɔ ho no ɛna baako nso ɛwɔ ho no sɛ comprehensive baako yɛfrɛ comprehensive ɛne ebi wɔ mu ne bɔ no ɛden fine na ɛno sɛ wokae konya kɔnhyia anaa kɔbɔ obi anaa biribi si na wankasa mu mpo no wopira insurance no hwɛ wo insurance no hwɛ wo hyɛn no na insurance no ahwɛ nipa foforɔ bi no anaa insurance no ahwɛ obi hyɛn so a wakɔsɛɛ no ɛbɛ kyerɛ sɛ wo no deɛ no comprehensive no ɛhwɛ ɛna obi deɛ nso comprehensive no ɛno so ɔhwɛ nti ɛma comprehensive no boɔ ɔden kakra ɛnso kɔyɛ a mfasoɔ a ɛwɔ akyire no ɛdɔɔso ɛna obi sɛ ade kora ebi afe baako kora na wonya akwanhyia na wonya mfie mmienu wonya akwanhyia da nso biribi a ɛsɛ wokotua abusua wohyehyɛ wo nɔɔma agu hɔ ɔkyerɛ ahokyerɛ pa a sɛbe wode wo sɛ bɔ mu a na wonam wo korɔ no ɛnya deɛ a wopɛ sɛ akwanhyia si deɛ a ɛne wogye insurance no akɔ bɛfa akwanhyia si na wotitira na woakɔgye insurance anaasɛ wo na itwa no akɔgye insurance ɛsɛ bɛboa wo a ɛnti bibia mu no ɛno deɛ ɛboa ho ban prevention is better sɛ wobɛbɔ ho ban sen sɛ wobɛma asi ɛnti kɔyɛ insurance no akɔyɛ a ɛbɛboa wo ɛnti bibia mu sɛ wotu hyɛn na kwanhyia nyɛ si ana wode ka kɔbɔ obi si pɛ wɔ lɔkwan so a ɛsɛ ɔma praise 40 ɛsɛ ɔma praise 40 na praise 4 ba mu sɛ praise 4 ante na sɛ praise 4 amba mu ɔma amafihwɛ mu yɛ a ɛno nso insurance no okɔgye a ɔbɛbrɛ praise 4 by then ɛbɛhwɛ yɛdi kan wo license wɔn wana wotu moto no wana wotu pradeɛ abobɔ yaa no wana wotu hyɛn no hyɛn ketewa hyɛn kɛseɛ wo license wɔn ɛsɛ ɔmo hwɛ asa afei insurance no nso ɛbɛsɛ ne nyinaa edi mu correct good ɛsɛ wokɔ anim no mehwɛ ɛsɛ mu bia anim a ɛno nso koraa wɔnyɛ charge foforɔ ɛde aka ho a ɛdo ɛto ase wakɔkɔ wɔn nyinaa mesrɛ mu yɛnsua papaapa yɛn ne yɛn ho so ɛwɔ saa nneɛma nyinaa so wɔn yɛn na yɛn ho so ɛwɔ saa nneɛma nyinaa insurance yi na nkɔfɔ ne nya bi amfa mmerɛ yɛn sɛ biribi si ɛwɔ lances ewu biribi si ɛsɛ insurance ewu a ɛna kyerɛ sɛ kaa watua no dɛdɛdɛ nyinaa no ahyɛ gu sɛ berɛ asɛnti sie no na insurance na ewu berɛ asɛnti sie no na driving license na ewu ɔbrɛgu ɛya usafoɔ nti biribi mu no tie wɔ insurance mɔmi yɛn sɛ yɛbɛkae biribi a yɛkɔre nim yɛ driving license a yɛnkae sɛ ewu pɛ yɛkɔ akɔre nim na biribi a wonam kwan so a wɔn nsa mpa bibi ɛbɔ ho ban wotire botan bi akwanhyia ɛya nnipa pira ɛya nnipa ewu a ɛya ebibi a ebitumi asosɔ ɛho so na boa yɛn sɛ insurance no ma yɛn mfa ani akorɔ ade akyɛn bia ɛnɛ ɛyɛ ɔdefo no busum no da ɛto so aduonu mmienu ɔdomfo agyanhyɛ no ho anuonyam ɔnkɛn ho ne dwuma biara esie ne so na de no agyanoma no nyɛ adom ani nhyira ɛfɛma yɛn
ACP no pay better say for your road safety tidbit out the abre better so na the headlines of the newspapers abre adofo. Ya my home akwaba eba jimedi ne so and pay I'm hoping say woda no ahya se eyi na 23rd day in the month of February 2022 dear. Ye more kwaba na ye ka se dwumadi ekoso e Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Until obetimi akọ Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hwehwe ETV Ghana and I say happy 989 FM and I betimi hwehwe me Samo Asian GH na oni edin sa wo say birthday dedication bi na person ye be any dinner anniversary bi na person chia na be ba choni nya betimi e dia fa Facebook na odi amaye ye hashtag no happy HMS into send a message no now the hashtag no etwa would receive it and would read it out to you. Obetimi send the comments so your WhatsApp line 02022222067 na odo comments and so Eddie Abraham sounds now to be the Etwegu Nisim 95.9 and 100.1 and to ebium yemo akwaba eba chimide so Ray akwaba
that's it
na bibia de din
that's a problem na catch
na catch no was it
the doctor na catch
oh send the any problem you nya 120k the problem will be solved.
That's
but meanwhile you know you nya 120k and I'm for still struggle to raise 300,000 yeah omunya 10 impo
Sammy,
yeah
I'm going to hold the show to ransom.
You are going to hold the show to ransom?
Yes.
And who will pay the ransom?
From Ochina.
Okay.
Mo frame memfa.
If I won't fa.
Mo behwehwe me a mempie.
Okay.
Until some list demand to be a mo betimi. Aye.
Okay.
There was some way no. Some mo de nyoma na ba. Be say dawn. And e di anymore. Because me nti obi.
Oh my God, don't find it here. I mean,
because me too be. I woke up from be about me too.
na don't know na doctor na doctor so kan na doctor kan
so we didn't say ransom there. We demand ransom. So who's en kofo na we demand if we mo on betua na. It's my mama listen na one cause I take mama say o on betua na.
This is how much so na say. When you matina say.
One.
Dr. Chimbi
Hey. Me for. One. Mr. Boating.
Obetia.
Obetia ransom.
Oh yes.
No.
Senior.
Mr. Boating. Mr. Boating, we want to say, Obe you see US for approach. We don't negotiate.
With terrorists.
With terrorists.
Unim senior. Mr. Senior Betia. Oh yes.
Okay.
Senior on quality.
And if Mr. Boating, you say Edwin.
Obetia.
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 Edwin so no.
Oh, too fast. Mr. Too fast Betia. Fast.
Where sure.
Twaso.
Okay. Timo.
Ontia.
Oh, you do Russian taxes and answer. Oh, you see US approach. I mean, who answer?
Ontia.
Which of the nations?
Ontia.
Ontia. The member bonnet, the Miami is Ontia. Austin.
Ontia.
What is Austin with you, baby?
Ontia.
I remember Cosby.
The best we answer my Bible quotation. And one.
Ontia.
La Cosby.
Ontia.
Cosby Ontia.
Hey. I hope they be person be the bass foul.
Na Eude.
Ontia.
Ontia. I can help you. Nese.
Siabodi.
Debbie, me there. Some me make yeah, me any be hold here hostage.
Bodi na me shade.
Debbie. Hostage no. Aha. And come here, Martin.
Martin
Pierre.
Obetia.
Martin Obetia. And then we know you are doing. As the young Ontia.
Ontia. For apostle come man.
Apostle Obetia.
Spiritually.
Yeah, Obetia, because I know the watch by into Obetia.
Hey, Sammy Waka watch us. Sammy
That's about you. You can't hold us to ransom. Because there will be only two people.
Three.
There's a possibility. Three. There's a possibility of the two.
I just more debate.
Sammy, she say, I know, before I run newspapers, she said, what you have near is legal. Aka watch haba. It's legal. Now I'm very areas be. You see watch all day. But we watch baby. When you say watch Wi-Fi, you're not in there.
Who do watch it now? I'm connected to my Wi-Fi.
Watching a friend watch Wi-Fi. Now, dear me, who here now? I feel no mobile or sleep on. Friend watch Bugatti. I'm saying, hey, that's how I mean. I'm a quack to watch you. It's the gun. I'm a drew and I'm so. I'm a 3 cities nigga. Kaka. Oh, you're Nisa. 15, 20.
I say, basically, I'm a sporty or now, baby. Now, we do, I'm sure. But you're the same. Motin the same. Mama say. And your beza, and your plate, I say. And your beza, 3 cities, 4 cities, 5 cities. But your auto plate, and I say, auto plate. I want something to say. Auto saying, auto plate is saying, and what I'm not daisy.
Next time, move a belly. Oh dear, don't baby.
It's the gun. Redefine watch it.
You never heard Saturday in your head. But there's good news for Fatih, because I know so for issues to do with the educational sector there, Nani ADHA. UTAG suspends strike. Lectures start Monday. That's on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Rate to remove Asin North MP. Supreme Court orders substituted service. 50,000 master craftsmen to receive TVET support. And no Ewo Honum. $30.2 million tax liabilities. Perseus Mining loses appeal against GRA. We are determined to promote renewable energy. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and Ekasa. Government rights or media rights. Insights from Afrobarometer survey. PURC resolved 2,039 consumer complaints in Eastern region. Bridge gap between less endowed schools. Professor Odru and Ekasa. Mali Parliament approves 5-year transition plan. And no Honma Oman for Ebitmi Akankan Ebi Ewo Daily Graphic Mu and se unyebi na watwa. Eastern Regional Hospital makes progress. And also so Honma Oman for Ebitmi Akankan Ebi. Allow lawyers to advertise services. Law professor argues and no Honum. Don't delay with work of committees. Babin and Kasa Asemno. First Deputy Speaker dismisses minorities' call for probe on COVID-19 expenditures. And no Honum, I know Remo would be interested in this matter. And to any stories are on the pay Daily Graphic at the Abre.
The new crusading guide, Baumia's clarion call to ECOWAS stakeholders, plan for transition from fossil fuels to renewables. Akwesio Seje winks at NPP national chairman post, promises to unite NPP to break the 8. Trasaka Group wins case against Woodfield. Other over 48 acres land at Boteman. Saso and a land ministry to implement appropriate regulatory framework to build viable mining industry. Jinapo Enaeka. Business community urged to help bridge demand and supply gap between Ghanaian chocolate and cocoa products. And no Honum Saso Ena Oko Paper Nimwa. Ukraine crisis, Russia orders troops into rebel-held regions. Burkina Faso gold mine blast kills 60. And no Honum. Awesome benefits of moringa for men. Nigeria rise. Is the government exaggerating production figures? Omo Ebisasa Asemno Honum. NADMO to provide support to victims of railway line fire outbreak. Saso and 54 doctors from Family Health Medical School inducted by Medical and Dental Council. Saso and what Ghana can do to combat corruption, educate, prevent, enforce. No special feature war paper anymore.
Ghanaian Times and OPC. Transport fares go up 15% effective Saturday. UTAG suspends strike for 2 weeks to engage government on demands. Give back our lands if Nungwa Manche demands from government. Endorsement of presidential candidates by chiefs during elections violates Constitution, CDD. And on Modesa Kowe about application seeking to cross-examine Justice Honyanuga dismissed. Medical fined 3,600 Ghana cedis for brandishing gun in public. Supreme Court orders substituted service on Asin North MP published in media. Now, also our paper number the second deputy speaker rules against private member motion to probe COVID-19 expenditure. E-levy to enable government invest in security. Interior Minister Ambrose Derry and all this assembly atuja. Now, also our paper number other stories I say we can't break 8-year cycle if Afenyumakin and all this assembly about comments detrimental to national cohesion shouldn't be encouraged. We any asema what paper num. Freddie Blay condemns Millie over sale of nomination forms. Government should suspend e-levy. Reverend Dr. Opuni Frimpong and Odessa Kowe Abba. We will hand over those who present false information for Ghana card to police. And only asema Professor Atifwa Ediaba. NCPTAs, PTA dues levies not absorbed by government. And also ne asema ewaha and conduct periodic electrical audits on installations. And only asema Greater Accra Regional Fire Commander and also Odea Tuja Ewo paper num will implement appropriate regulatory framework for viable mining industry. Jinapo and Odessa Koweaba and 6 committees set up to promote high professional standards in engineering. We a committee Francis Asenso Boache set up. Nina Yensema offer Ghanaian Times and Opea Obetumiaka.
Yet also on the Daily Statesman and it was here front page of the Daily Statesman. We need sustainable energy plan for transition to renewables. Dr. Baumia Ena Ekasa, government to build viable mining industry. Lands Minister Ena Ekasa, NPP calls for calm over polling station elections. And also Honum Ena Amia Akunfi charges Tescon to propagate government policies. We Daily Statesman stories out there.
The Ghanaian publisher, COVID expenditure probe. Afenyo Markin endorses rejection. Fights for forms not unexpected. Freddie Blay, NPP chairman, Neka. Government agric interventions giving hope to farmers. Lands Ministry overhauling mining industry. Abu Jinapo Ena Eka. Saso Ena beyond the illusion of government created jobs. Kojo Afari right. Asensu Boache inaugurates technical committees. And no Ewo Honum. Fertilizer scandal to rock Mofa. Aggrieved companies threaten to petition OSP. And no Ewo paper nimwa. Ubetumi apebi akai. Saso and 60 killed in Burkina Faso gold mine blast. Unmarried police can't be pregnant. Nigeria courts and Ekasa Assembly. Saso and benchmark value reduced to 30% for general goods, 10% for vehicles. No need to panic. CD will soon bounce back. Professor Texan and Eka. COVID fight, we won't let our guard down. Zoom Lion assures government. We are the Ghanaian publisher.
The Chronicle Anope say the Chronicle got it right. Court coops up a Bongo boy arrested by police for allegedly dealing in illicit trafficking of arms and ammunition. We are a big story on the front page of the Chronicle. Minorities' demand for COVID-19 expenditure probe shut down. Your Honor, prosecution is lying. Counsel for suspected Nima riot gang leader tells court. Dispute over Boteman land. Trasako floss Woodfields at Court of Appeal. Nina Ayensema Chronicle Ediabanopi.
The final newspaper. Chiefs sway voters during elections through open endorsement of candidates. CDD survey. BNA Ekasa. Court to rule on the UTAC strike March 9th and no Honum. We are committed to building a viable industry, mining industry. John Jinapo and Ekasa. Dr. Efiye Akoto, the bank's procurement breaches, armed fraud allegations. When you know stories are the final newspaper at the Abreye.
The Informer. Huge recruitment scandal. Health Ministry busted. Health professionals must cough up 7,000 cedis to secure placement. Curbing spread of COVID-19. Zoom Lion intensifies fight. Flouting court directives, NPP communicators warn minister to desist from fomenting trouble at UEW. Nation bounces back better at 65. Akufo-Addo inspires confidence. Reconstructing Apiate will provide full account. Minister Enna Eka. Re-election deception folly as Wontumi preaches repentance. Hannah-Bissell spits fire. And also Ewo paper nimwa ubetumi apebi akai. Government hails suspension of UTAG strike. And also Ewo honum. Saso Enna will arrest city decline. President assures. Other stories that were how betumi akai. Ghana card applicants express frustration over slow pace of registration. Akufo-Addo pledges support for NCCU boss as she takes up ECOWAS job. Supreme Court orders substituted service on Asin North MP. Saso and oil hit highest since 2014 on Russia-Ukraine escalation. No need to panic. We will soon bounce back. When you know air stories are a war, the informal anope.
Republic Press anope say confusion in NPP over Adjot Safo as 120,000 Ghana cedi bribery allegation pops up. I know the big story on the front page of the Republic Press. UNIDO, Ghana and Japan launch project to boost rice production. 14,000 teachers not qualified to teach in public schools. NTC registrar and all this assembly about. Supreme Court hands Boga MP, UTAG suspends strike and vote out Yao Boabin Asamoah Nko or our former political party. Kennedy Japan and all this assembly about. I can be impartial, not neutral. Speaker Bagman and all this assembly about. We air stories and pay offer the Republic Press. I'll bet me I can. My final paper and pay air the custodian. No more hiding for evicted NDC MP. Government to build viable mining industry. Lands Minister. NPP comforts aspirants. Lecturers back to lecture halls and a majority backs ruling on COVID-19 spending. We air stories and pay our front page of the custodian.
The Inquisitor newspaper, SP stirs fear and panic. Grimy media agenda against him planned. And no Elhonum National Energy Transition Forum held. And also Elhonum Osei Ejay for NPP National Chairman at the home. And Techiman South constituents received massive support. When you know air stories are underpaid. The Inquisitor newspaper at the Abre.
Business and Financial Times. WAMCO plans to invest $5 million in new equipment. Court rules in favor of Trasaco against Woodfield over 48-acre land. Rosemary Beryl Archer appointed Gexam Deputy CEO. Access Bank appoint first female executive director. Unibank collapse. Receiver gets green light to testify. Reform pensions. Axis Pension CEO Naeka. Rice sufficiency agenda gets $3.6 million boost. And no ewo hono. So and other stories are ubenya ewo paper nimu akai essay. Inland canoe fishermen support automation of premix fuel distribution. Our skies are safe despite GMET strike action. And no ewo honum. So and a perspective on pension fund and asset management. A feature a work paper nimwa ubetumi apebi akai. Bold steadily spearheading socio-economic growth. UTAG suspends strike till March 4th. We share picture waha UTAG NEC any representatives from 15 public universities and Omwetra group picture. Kama edaha noma omo a suspended strike no.
Yentosu Nenko your website www.happyghana.com. Yenfa stories no ebi embre omam for Boabin Asamoah replies Ken Ejapon describes him as Kwikwanansi, the wisest politician. And no Elhonum JHS2 student poisons herself over a washia allowance. So washia means you didn't go to sleep in the house. Okay, all right. An unidentified junior high school student has poisoned herself to punish herself for not receiving money from her boyfriend after she spent 7 solid days in his room.
What does that mean?
That guy should be fired. He's a waste to the party. Kenya Japan descends on Boabin Asamoah. Mali approves military rule up to 5 years. Fire Adwoa Safo NPP communicator to President Akufo-Addo. Step down for Justin Kodia, John Boadu fired. Every pastor in the world will go to hell. Prophet Gabriel Chimesi Ena Ekasa and blame fuel hikes on deregulation of petroleum sector. Kojo Poku Ena Ekasa. Prophet Gabriel Chimesi shares the mystery behind the marine kingdom. When you know air stories are Oman for Eddie Abraham.
CityNewsroom.com and the page stories Ewaha Ebi Enye. Don't renege on your promises after suspension of strike. UTAG tells government. Government committed to meeting UTAG's demand. Education Ministry. Industrial area bullion van attack left 3 injured. Police foil attempted robbery attack on bullion van in Accra. First Deputy Speaker dismisses motion for probe into COVID-19 expenditure. Na otaso ewo citynewsroom.com. I left enormous legacy in Ningo Pram ET Mensa. UEW UTAG votes against suspension of strike. 31-year-old nurse appeals for 62,000 Ghana cedis for bilateral total hip replacement surgery. Odododio. Angry NPP members question credibility of nomination forms. Na Okopimo Supreme Court as the Supreme Court considers consolidation of suits challenging 2022 budget approval. Publish rate of sermons for Assin North MP in Daily Graphic. Supreme Court orders. Kumasi High Court remands KNUSA lecturer over wife's disappearance. And Adwoa Safo's absence from Parliament hasn't hindered development. Domi Kwabunya MPP and Omodesa Semboyaba. We air stories at localcitynewsroom.com.
Google News. Activists concerned about recent arrest of journalists in Ghana. Heavy storm in Germany, another prophecy from the seer. Emirati investors show interest in Ghana's cocoa. Eno ewo honum. E-Transact shows love to physically challenge Martin Ano. Eno ewo honum. So it is our responsibility to stop illicit financial flows within the ECOWAS. And also a story Waha. Kofi Annan Center of Excellence in ICT Governing Board inaugurated, and Meta launches Reels on Facebook. We a stories are uko Google News and Opea Ubenye Biakai.
Yet also na Yemfa international news update and Broman for US unloads significant new sanctions on Russia. Biden unveiled new sanctions that he said would effectively cut off Russia's government from Western finance. Other stories ending as the West condemns Russia, Beijing strikes a different tone. Russia is already paying a hefty financial price for its aggression, and no Elhonum. Trump praises Putin's strategy in Ukraine, says it's smart. Russia responds after Germany halts Nord Stream 2 project. Putin puts foreign intelligence chief on the spot. And this is Elhonum. 16-year-old Indian chess sensation stands world #1. And this is Elhonum. Oman for me, I can be. Trump sides with Putin as Biden tries to stop a war. CDC adds multicultural Asian favorite to its list of highest risk destinations. And no Elhonum. Oman for a bit me, I can be on pay a war. CNN.
BBC.com and the stories Ewaha Ebi Enye. Biden sanctions Russia over beginning of invasion. Now Dutch Apple Store hostage taker hit by police car. Mandatory COVID-19 test for all Hong Kong residents. Abri Killers convicted on hate crimes charges. Bear named Hank the Tank wanted by US police. Soaring food prices spark outrage in Kenya. 60 killed in dynamite blast at gold mine in Burkina Faso. BTS agency Hybe report surge in profits. U.S. women's soccer team strike equal pay deal. Colombia decriminalizes abortion in first 24 weeks. and Amazon protected areas facing mining proposal risk. When you know a story, so call bbc.com and appear over to me.
Reuters News: Nigeria sues JP Morgan for $1.7 billion over oil deal. 18 civilians killed in West Niger attack. Turkey's Erdogan cut short Africa trip for virtual NATO meeting. Paul Farmer, U.S. doctor dedicated to the world poor, dies at 62. Chevron seeks to sell Equatorial Guinea oil and gas asset resources. We a stories are Ubenya Ewo, Reuters News.
Yantwaso na yemfa weather update embre omanfo na yede weather update na ebro na ye kai wo se onia baby a wo bia no obetimi ahwe dwumede ewo aye ofon so o laptop so computer so ko Facebook na hwehwe happy 989 FM na anase ETV Ghana na obetimi follow conversation no na wo comment bia onso ode abren ewo dwumede so udodin eka ho a we be glad ebiem obetimi asend your WhatsApp message say birthday dedication sinam di kan earlier na ode send ya ye be kan ede ama omamfo your number no 02022222067 dwumede ekoso ewo nisim 95.9 and 100.1 enti unien enhwe emfa embomo Ghana Meteo Force enkanche omanfa womo ewo Aflawo, Accra, Kaswa, Cape Coast, Takrade say womo be experience a misty morning and pain with lowest temperature around 25 degrees Celsius. Area there will be sunny periods for most of these areas with the exception of Accra, which is likely to have some showers. Temperature will be around 33 degrees Celsius. And you may, it will be partly cloudy in these areas with temperature around 27 degrees Celsius. Oshe areas be at say Axim, Koforidua, Akimoda, and Afe Takwa won't be experiencing foggy morning and a pay. Lowest temperature will be around 24 degrees Celsius. Area sunny periods would be experienced with temperature being around 35 degrees Celsius. And you may, it will be partly cloudy in most of these areas. Oshe the northern belt, Yendi, Tamale, Bole, Damango, Bolgatanga, Nalerigu, and Ewa. And it will be slightly hazy for these areas with lowest temperature around 25 degrees Celsius. Area it would remain same with temperature rising to around 38 degrees Celsius. And you may it will be slightly hazy with some parts experiencing dry conditions. Still with a slight haziness, and temperature would be around 20 degrees Celsius. Into way any weather update, even media break on for.
Yemfa COVID update and so. Active cases 570. Confirmed cases 159,006. New cases 112. Death 1,442. Recoveries and discharge 156,994. Worldwide total figures are recorded this year a year 428 million plus 1.44 million. Deaths 5.91 million plus 3,294. If you want to man ye caught straight aqua trend no aba abetwaso na so with the social media chi fi and see and then 3 days na unim dia air trend e wo honom anope ye the trends no baako eba e de boaben asamoa air trend adentia na idin boabo asamoa air trend honorable Kennedy Ejapon apempreko and our communications director of the MPP boaben asamoa ono ena problems apart no air nyinara ono esresu NSC onu ntia ena problems nyina aba enti e was say sa guy no sa no kan enyame na me friend a guy say sa guy no e was say yes sake no pa na nsem bi okeka no me pa cho anopemi ntimi repeat sa ensem no e wo TV so na say radio so na o say problems apart ni face nyina with communication say na to me pass information kasa kira man for ne ade no yes papa no ya bo abia samoa and all these are problems nyina aba pacho mama yen share video maybe.
If all the executives, the current executives, if they don't lose, I'll form a political party. All the current executives, including Yabuabia Samoa, if they don't vote them out, I'll form a political party.
To what end?
To what end? Abro. And the name of the political party will be Abro. It's only MPP that will allow idiots like you, Yabuapia Samoa, to be a communicator. A fair lawyer like you.
Asem no na waka no enye se ehia se mesen repeat mu nyina masumwa na eno ekoda nchen no sa interview na ekọ so no mu ana hashtag bako epie free mu ye nyina ye nim se sa hashtag yi na ebeba what e-levy cannot do now the atwa so does not exist ye nyina ye nim enti sa hashtag de kopie mu sen eye honorable Kennedy Japan ensema okotena radio so ekeka ye ese MPP party no ayede omubeye biara se omubenya ne squeeze adwa Sarah Safo amana be PM e wo parliament na e-levy no ho nsem no omo ede ato wo no omo ato aba no na afa yetumi apase e-levy no na oma list of nioma bebre any effort omo ya ombenya sister no amana ba parliament na mu hasa muntie effort ni bi misika kra akoshem
Ajua Safo, they hired a private jet to bring the woman here, and when she came she refused to come to parliament. What kind of rudeness is that? Chief of staff was made to sit at her living room for 35 minutes. Going back, she was demanding another private jet. Excuse me. They put pressure on me to call Ajua Safo. I placed the call through my daughter 13 times. She refused to talk to me. My daughter said to me that, oh, daddy, my birthday, I've not received my birthday present. She was born 27th December. I said, okay, put your mother on the line to give me account and I'll let my friend transfer the money. She refused to talk to me. I heard her. The girl was holding, mommy, daddy wants to talk to you. She refused to talk to me. A chief had traveled to where she is just to convince her. She refused to come. They hired a private jet to bring the woman here. And when she came, she refused to come to parliament. Hold on.
Okay.
She refused to come to parliament. Chief of staff, after buying the ticket and flying her in, had to take a motorcade to Ajua's house. She stood behind her gate for 30 minutes. What kind of rudeness is that? Before she opened, Chief of staff was made to sit at her living room for 35 minutes. When she came, Babin was tired. She is sick. He's sick. He can't wait. If you can't get your numbers, so be it. And we couldn't vote. Going back, she was demanding another private jet. Excuse me. Dr. Mwakuba, I'm sorry. Please. You don't know what has transpired. Look, about 3 weeks ago, we went to Rock City. Rock City. They put pressure on me to call Ajua Safo. I placed the call through my daughter 13 times. She refused to talk to me. She refused. What do you want us to do again? Ajua now is saying that before she comes, Daniel should listen. I'm not a madman just to go and talk. Ajua's condition is that you have to remove Alex Markin as deputy majority leader.
Yeah.
Announce it that Alex Markin has been removed. Then she will take a plane and come here. Second one, another demand is that if you don't give me what I want, you are not going to get the e-levy passed. And if you don't pass the e-levy, you go to IMF. So unless you give me what I want, I will never come. Chief of staff called me. I went there. Said, now this is what she's saying. I swear my mother's grave. Chief of staff gave me 120,000. Deposited in Ajua Safo's Fidelity Bank account. Please, Amwakuma, what do you know?
And some no ena aba abeto jano 120,000 no me nim say dollars so say a cedi so dollars dia ene wo de ba cedis mu ebi wo mi ye but still endu me $300,000 no enti no saa nneɛma nyinaa ɛkɔ so ɛna maame say still enya ade ameba enti no me yɛ sure say adekwenti ahuhu ever parliament amre na okotena mu amanfo say ɛyɛ ɔno ɛnyɛ ɔno ano na because of chief of staff de bia na ɔsere enti ogina gate n'echi 30 minutes n'enim serious omu bebie gate okotena hall 35 minutes n'enim serious na omudi moto kedi ene hwe anka eyi parliament e di plane ko kranka plane no mo de beso anu akọ ene omu de ne kotena ho okotena ha na oye say ene o say ene meko ene o sign time ne bag away bus ene o say mo fa private jet ne mrai na mo sign fa mi nkosi abrochiri ene o mo say ha ne he kene Japan so mo de private jet ma sister ikra ka nyamia enti nsama ekoso ewo ho no yenim say rumors ye sha ase na ye keka ye huhu Ajosafo is holding the party to ransom, holding the government to ransom. If Musi o debi or yare or yesay, why yesay, afe na wa wo foforo in a call so sa afe de. Ono ankasa ne former chocho mucho. And I didn't say nyina aba betwija. Utumu said the man vex well. Commenter aba enie. Fortune say, God have mercy on Ghana. Hashtag what e-levy cannot do. Mohammed says, so all that this dishonest talkative is saying is that people belonging to the ruling party have sacrificed their comfort to come vote for a bill that will apparently bring discomfort and hardship to the 30 million Ghanaians, what e-levy cannot do. Che Kwesi Mensah says, so you people have money to rent private plane to one person and you still want to take the e-levy? Hashtag what e-levy cannot do. Richard say MPP, you see your levels. Party first, not Ghana first. No wonder that is why every mistake, bad policy you defend it as if your life depends on it. Ogidigidi say, all right, so there was truly an imposter in Parliament House. Hey, so what is happening in Ghana? Ogidigidi enyesa na oka or say, but my minute train 35 minutes answer. Or call parliament because make I say nipa no interview na bisa specifically say into wamba and also o twen na menka asem ni nkosi ma me ne twen 35 30 wo de bom a na che say over 1 hour and o twen na o share na tare ye di nachi e call parliament sa no kan Joseph say Ajosafo wherever you are may God Almighty bless you and your entire generation for fighting for the poor Ghanaian. It is all because of the e-levy they are crying like babies. Madam, please don't come now. Stay in your hiding place. Enti we nyina e comment ni bia aba. Na sanse me nyina akwaso yi e na video bi be pie mu. Video mi be pie mu no ne ye greetings from MP Baakope Jiwo2. Also we share me pe na waka say Ajosafo mema o2. Bacho mo my video.
Thank you, Jesus. You said you will lay a table before us in the presence of our enemies. Thank you, Jesus, for how far you brought us. The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, MP Baakope.
No. Jiwo2. Comments. Edward say, imagine your deputy majority leader verified on TikTok for entertaining followers with dancing and comedy. Now that she's busted on TikTok, she is here faking holiness. Just imagine. Dominic say, now she is also for Mame. You continue. Akoti Hennessy Chale, I be die-hard MPP, but some of our so-called leaders like this lady make some of us regret going to vote for the party. Adombasi, very beautiful lady. Kennedy Japan is jealous of Ajosafo's husband. Samuel Abekasi, so she is able to claim she is a minister. Boy. Into comment no ebi eni into same aha ena mede ebesie into uhumia na we hu se me MP Baakope na mama o2. Right. Yes.
And you won't be morning show host Baakope.
Me na me be hold him no. What do I say? Tumbe we say TikTok so my jo afa dada. Nti mo frefre me na miss me yemi videos. Ni ade. Some of the allegations are Honorable Kennedy Japan make you know. Some for now
the allegations.
I can't substantiate.
No, the allegations.
We can't independently
substantiate.
One guy say Obi also no. He.
Yes.
But he mentioned other people who are supposedly involved. Internet no make us say allegation. Some are very serious. I was say you need we shouldn't just let go. Question ni bi kra omo comment here ni bi eka say after chief of staff ekotwen ni ade nyina no or do parliament one answer we do parliament ho we dey meeting ye no it appeared say odu ho but the ekosi ye na ye say ye ono enyo parliament no it needs probing because of sa narrative here abey again sa 120,000 cedis, dollars, pounds, euros no na ye for den eno na mudu kotia private jet ne ka anasa omo de mano say we are bribe parliament to come and do what we have voted for you to go and do and I said na for den ni nyina I will say yetumi edi echire again mpanifo a omutu kwan ekokọ hwehwe na echire akwan ekobisa ano no omo mbotom zika na omo defufu omo plane and I say government assignment ye de mo omo so omo nko na omo nkofa MP baako embra again baby ayedri I will say you declare seat ni vacant na ni nyina questions a I will say yetumi ebisa agin chechiremu Emma Etiefo and Ashefo.
Sammy, let me attempt to answer some of the questions. Sammy, in some now, Kennedy Ajapon Kaya. I feel, sir, as a political party NPP, Omo Omanka Somujimiti on the internally. If they feel, sir, Bibi, a cut to more advantage, and now a cut to more disadvantage. What am I saying? And so if a political party has an MP, a sitting member of parliament, for one reason or the other, only chamber, only house of parliament, and it is possible, sir, she would have taken leave of absence through the Speaker of Parliament. It's possible. Our tiny baby, and we all know, sir, she was given an extended stay away from the duty and on the post as Minister of Gender Affairs. Yen himself president in such a character as he said, a man of extended leave of absence. And with all that said, no, if the NPP as a political party and the majority in Parliament feel said they need one person, so now my numbers now cost around. Whatever action they take behind the scenes, as far as convincing Adjoa to come to Parliament, no. So I mean, I don't think it would amount to any crime. It would amount to any allegation of corruption, or I don't think it will amount to misbehavior. And so I mean, look, you see, this game we are playing, it's a game of numbers. What am I saying? And Chief of Staff is part of the NPP. Kennedy Japan is part of NPP. If they feel say agenda where a government per se here, numbers and Adjoa Safo is constrained, and she's making demands. So I mean, of course, Adjoa Safo can sit in here in the comfort of her home and demand say, oh, before Bebano, because of Nema 1, 2, 3.
I won't use the word demand. I will use the word blackmail.
Oh, Sammy, come on.
I won't use the word. No. I won't use the word demand.
No. You see, Munya Botre. You see, Munya Botre. You see, where are politics?
It's not
politics. All these things,
it's not politics. It is not politics.
All these things will not have come to the fore. All these things happened. Nobody knew about it. All these things would have come if Kennedy hadn't come on.
We had our suspicions.
We had our suspicions, but you couldn't substantiate.
What happened?
Yes.
But you see, I mean, and America say, if Adjoa Safo is demanding XYZ from her party to leave whatever she's doing, wherever she is, on permission, Abba Ghana, so I mean, it is between Ono and the political party, and if the political party can meet it, until Oman Kofo BSC can command Adjoa Safo. Between political party and Kasano, Oma mobilize, Oma kofa private jets, on kofa Adjoa. Political party now decided say, Oma man 120,000 cities. Say, Oma convincing is on. I mean, this is politics, and you convince people all the time. Sami, yeah, Kasas is here, no. Russia and Ukraine is same, near US. Only negotiations are course behind the scenes. You see, all those things will not come to light. But if these things have happened, and today Ken is talking about, Ken is confidently talking about it because he knows that within the laws, there's absolutely nothing criminal. There's absolutely nothing bad about the course. These were steps the NPP had to take to bring Omo member of parliament. No muhiano. So I think that look, it is party process. Any process is go through just to make sure, say, as a political party, we're able to get what we want and push through our agenda as a governing party. I think that's, look, this noise we are making about 120,000 allegations have to be probed here and there. Look. It is a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
But on Same, Asame Akofa Asa whole issue by I don't quite get it. Because I don't remember, say, Adwoa Safo was fired as minister. She was granted leave, right? Ebia, it's as a result of Okwasake Mrs. Kwashigai. And I don't see where she feels humiliated or she feels touched in a way into or resulted to such tactics according to the report you receive, I don't get it. It smacks of immaturity for me, in all honesty. And the kind of demands now all make, say cry. How do you move from minister to now demand, say, yenyi deputy majority leader and see ho na yen found besho and it should be done publicly. Say we have fired Nipano. What must say? I don't get it. I say.
Well, Fatih, let me try and simplify it for Raymond, who thinks that the things that Mr. Kennedy Japan has said does not require probing.
Doesn't require probing. It's an internal party or more dear.
See,
I mean,
Yetiha, on the HMS, we realize that anytime our numbers get to 1K, it is when Fatih is speaking. Mm-hmm. And so Fatih realizes that it is when I speak that the numbers hit 1K. Uh-huh. And so Fatih decides that though this company employed her to speak, this company pays her to speak, this company picks her up from work, from home to work. Mm-hmm. Fatih says, when I come and sit here, I won't talk. Mm-hmm. If you guys want me to talk for you to hit your 1K, mm-hmm. bring me 120K. Mm-hmm. Sack Samuel Ishen, sack Raymond Yamado, uh-huh. and bring Peter and Isaac. Mm-hmm. If this does not amount...
What is criminal about this?
Meba. Pacho. For me, mm-hmm. this is extortion.
Oh, come on.
For me...
Blackmail.
This is blackmail.
Uh-huh.
For me, this demands full investigation by the Ghana Police
From
Service.
A party that has top-notch lawyers.
Listen.
A party that has top-notch lawyers. They didn't consider this extortion
especially,
but rather played along.
Especially when we have had people, ordinary citizens, who have been prosecuted mm-hmm. for such activities called extortion and blackmail.
Reports were made to the police.
That is why a citizen of this country will make a report to the Ghana Police Service.
Who went to that citizen
of course,
to demand anything?
Listen.
Did the citizen come to adjust?
But I didn't interrupt you.
Are you the person Adwoa Safo came to?
Let me land.
To extort?
Let me land.
Or to blackmail?
Fatih asked legitimate questions. That 120K, which was deposited in Madam
given
Adwoa
by
Safo's,
the chief of staff.
Yes.
One can say given by the chairman of the party.
Which was deposited
given
in
by
the
chief
account,
of
the fidelity
staff.
account of Madam Adwoa Safo.
Yes.
From the chief of staff.
Yes.
Is it the taxpayers' money?
Oh, come on.
Oh, maybe.
The chief of staff is not a poor woman.
I don't interrupt you when you are speaking.
No, Sammy, let me interrupt you. I'm saying that the chief of staff is not poor. The chief of staff doesn't have 120,000 cedis to dash Adwoa Safo. That is, if that is what you wanted to do.
We don't even know if the money is cedis or not.
You see, and let me say, the chief of staff doesn't have 120,000 cedis, dollars, pounds, euros, Chinese yen to dash Adwoa Safo. Oh, come on. Sammy, please. Nobody has to be investigated in this matter. it is an internal party wrangling. Let us leave the NPP to do with their matter.
If also,
Where
if
do you feel
also
as
with all that has happened, you know, say just happened and our parliament that day 11 and so and also doesn't need investigation.
Oh, I know it's a different matter. That one's a different matter.
But why is it a different matter?
Oh, no, say I know the MPs took it up. I don't know where it ended. But I'm saying that in this matter of extortion, blackmail, bribe, look, this cannot be a bribe. This cannot be extortion. This cannot be blackmail. This is negotiation. You see, in law we call this quid pro quo. Something for something. That was what I just sought to exploit.
Well, Raymond, we may sit here and say it is nothing. But when it has to get to the point where a member of parliament would have to make these demands
on her party.
Not on her
on
party.
her own party.
No, not on her party.
Let's stress on
the
that
chief
part.
of
On
staff,
her own party.
The chief of staff is not an executive of the party.
But she's a member of the NPP.
No, she is the chief of
NPP.
staff of Ghana.
Oh, Sami.
If reference had been made to the party chair, the party organizer, the party general secretary, the party communications director, and the fire,
the chief of staff.
No problem.
The chief of staff was.
But we are talking about a chief of staff
who is a member of the NPP.
Yes.
I'm concerned about the
who
NPP.
is an employee of the people of Ghana.
Oh, Sami.
Who gives 120K?
It is her money.
Whether it is dollars, whether it is pounds, whether it is Ghana cedi, we don't know.
It is her money.
And yet we want to treat this as a trivial matter that does not require attention. I'm expecting Mr. Dampare.
Oh, Sami.
I'm expecting Mr. Dampare to show interest in this matter of the allegations which have been made by Mr. Kennedy Japan.
Per which loss?
I'm expecting him to show interest in that.
Which loss is he going to apply in this matter?
If Wachina Yetiho, Nasi Yetisana in the camp of another political party will be able to make a similar allegations, I'm hoping that we will be expecting say things will be treated differently. But let me come to some aspects of the revelations, you know, Mr. Kennedy Japan MK. Party, why is the e-levy bill at the moment a
town hall meetings?
But what is the town hall meeting got to do with?
So you have to finish the sensitization.
Parliament.
Finish the sensitization.
Raymond, at some point, the picture that was being painted was that the Speaker of Parliament's absence was deliberate, and that it was to frustrate government's attempt at the passage of the e-levy. Mm-hmm. Speaker of Parliament has been in town all this while, and yet e-levy has not been tabled.
So, amendments have been made. And it has to take a certain period of time.
At some point, we were told that the e-levy bill was going to be withdrawn and that it was going to be relayed.
Yeah, that has been done.
Then we were told that some amendments rather was going to be made to it.
It has been done.
So then, why are we still here, seeing that development has to happen? Yesterday, the finance minister made it clear that monies which have to go into the common fund. Sika, I was here at the district assemblies. I was somebody here, Juma. See, e-levy now. There will be a problem for development at our local assemblies. And so, if the Speaker is in town and we have the opportunity to pass this bill into a law for the e-levy to be collected so that these assemblies can develop, why are we still here not tabling the e-levy?
Why? Why they say we said we didn't understand e-levy. We Ghanaians, we said we didn't understand e-levy. So the finance minister, in his wisdom, decided he will organize town hall meetings to make sure stakeholders are properly briefed. Stakeholders understand what e-levy is, what it is going to be used for, what would happen if e-levy is passed. And so as we speak, last time I checked, the minister was in the Upper West region. He's going to do that across, at least, most of the regions across the country, just to make sure he gets the buy-in. Now, after getting the buy-in of the good people of Ghana, he can now confidently go to Parliament and say, yes, my people understand the e-levy now. So Parliament, go ahead and pass this bill. So you see, all these delays we are getting now is because the finance minister wants to make sure sensitization, a call down to the people of Ghana. That is why Yenyam pass.
Yo.
Yes.
Sir, Anthony Yenyam pass ya. And I'm hoping, sir, the feedback we are receiving from the market women, the videos that are trending on social media, where people are asking questions about the sentiment of Ghanaians about the e-levy being expressed by people regardless of location, regardless of tribe, regardless of political affiliation, ordinary Ghanaians, the sentiments they are expressing about the e-levy and its passage. I'm hoping you said they are taking note as well. Let's not lose sight of the fact to say members of parliament in parliament are representatives of the people in parliament. And therefore, they also get feedback from their constituents as to whether they are ready to, pass the e-levy or not to pass. And so, for me, I am hoping that the government will take advantage of the presence of the Speaker of Parliament, Aban Babin, which obviously will give them the numbers. Because the only time when we have had issues and they fought was when the sitting speaker decided to vote. But now the man himself is here. So obviously it will be 138, 137.
Yes.
So let's just pass it.
Sammy.
But the 120K has gone.
That's an application.
The 120K has gone. So I'm hoping that these matters with Madam Adwoa Safo by now would have been resolved and that she'll be in Parliament.
Now, 120K, a lawyer, an MP, a minister, 120K of the other is a citizen. Because my crimes.
More is always preferred to less.
I don't know. But Yaka Parliament Asimbiano, transport fares 15%. Yatum. By me menda de Ufu Totra 15%. Ubichia.
Some story be or her many boss, but I think man come one say that's very important to Asema Okesokano. I think I know from STC boss Nana Kumia. Was a 15% increment not enough. Yeah.
It is obvious that it is not enough. It is obvious that it is not enough.
But it's better than the 10%.
Yes, it is better than the percentage and that one more AUC previously, no. But I'm just concerned. Say, trotro drivers, see a 15% kwampa. The impact is going to have on the budgets of Ghanaians. Our market, yasem. Enkoye. So we'll be a plan, say, and cannot every month we are spending 200 Ghana cedis on transportation. And then 15% or spending more. And so, Mamina Wokofa Banchi, anybody there at the Abano. Okofa, firstly, Nipana or the Kana air funding in the Banaka chain, so Petro Yatutu Mentino, or two. And son, as you see, 15% here, Abai as transport fare, no. Commercial drivers, one more year haulage, one year in Yano, and it's 15% here, woman better so. That means it's an addition which is going to be put on the already high charges are almost charging because of fuel prices are costing. And goods, foodstuffs are yet or no, never also be costing now. Already, they are concerned about the inflation figures. And me bomb pie say by Saturday, no, say GPR24 and the coalition, no. One more eshasi esi one more every to more. Aban ebe tuana more. Na ye Metro Mass any ye ayalolo any other no. The transport ministry should as quickly as possible try and go into some negotiations to have more buses into the country to ease the burden that's going to be on the shoulders of Ghanaians. Yenya more Metro Mass buses, yenya more ayalolo buses, which is going to charge the people less. So that whether we like it or not, fuel prices in the day, the next window, it may go up. The next one, it may. Maybe, a better form. But until then, government must, of necessity, quickly go into arrangements, agreements with these transport operators, try and bring in more buses. Now, saying your plan for were in the news. yɛne onkofo eni nkomo metro mass ne yɛmfa yɛni ndi akyi ayalolo no yɛmfa yɛni ndi akyi ne yɛmfa more buses mbra so that whether say we more 15% na government decided so we will stay there around let's say 5% increase, it's a relief to the people. These are the only benefits we can enjoy from government. And so I'm hoping that some conversations will begin around a year in transport system, more buses to ease the burden on the people. Benchmark value NSCC no when we say no yatis way, you know. First, now the care bar, one more MR 30%. You see, I almost say one more MR 10%. And the car bonus, no, ebe kosuru. But then, Raymond, it brings me to the point to say now a 50% and the about 20%. I said 20% be about 30%, 20% be a revenue increase for government.
Yeah.
And at 30% in the about 10%, and also a revenue increase for government. So which means that government is going to have a 40% increase in its revenue target. No
Yes.
Well, how does that also sit with a year plans with respect to revenue mobilization plans and the budget say over 100 billion. Nina koma I was say any sika we nyina no ahen ane de kwa kwhye your projections says 40% here eba beto your revenue generation plans in so no what does it translate into? At least you say a year 1.75 you say some 7 billion be there yensa ebeka, but that 40% as well, how much does it translate into? Ni nyina nsema I believe say as woman I was say dey ni edi
yeah, Sammy, I think sir increase in transport fares in India, it was only going to be a matter of time. And now you say prices never cost because of significant changes at the pump. And so, I mean, it doesn't look like price changes at the pump no, ever stabilize anytime soon, especially considering the fact that Russia and Ukraine so everyone's and semi war muntema. Russia accounts for 11% of the world's oil production, and we all know, definitely know, production will take a hit because of Russia, Ukraine, and prices will definitely escalate. No sure Europe and Kasa, your fire crude, your oil, free. Russia supply Europe in the most part, on the biggest producer of oil level Europe. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. And these prices, no, and I'm even expecting the next pricing window, first week in March, we may see another change in the price of the pump, coupled with the fact that exchange rates in Sensem, it's not looking favorable. The CD against the dollar, as you see, we've crossed the 7 CD mark. It's becoming a challenge, and it was only going to be a matter of time. Our drivers know on the first Ebecoa. Now we are not only talking about the fuel. We're also talking about lubricant drivers better. All of that, prices never cost you. Even filters, the oil change, price per cost. So every bit of business, transport business, is taking a hit. Even with the private car owners, simple, whatever the commercial drivers go through, we also go through the same. And 15% in the year. Rebecca said it's a bit on the low. They were actually pushing for 30%, and I'm told, some driver unions, like concerned drivers, almost say they'll still hold out for 30% from Saturday. And GPRT, I could agree 15%. But significantly, if the drivers are more concerns about high price, and how they are struggling to break even, and how they are struggling to balance the books as far as our business is concerned, and we may possibly be looking at a possible increment again in the next few weeks, because this 15%, ain't enough. And Osha will be to say, Nana Kumia, Oka say, a year ebe harm because Osha sena prices now cost affect your business, and this is somebody who is managing the STC, ultimately state transport, and is also concerned about 15% because obviously on also may increasing it 15%. But does that make up for, we're running costs in the manner? So I mean, all of that is a challenge. And say, I'm thinking, say, this 15% it could be reviewed upwards, but it's a good start. Say, at least, for most parts now, or more increasing fare, because of negotiations in the America, so they even threatened strike at a point, hoping the government to reduce the prices. They say, things have gotten out of hand. And say, but I'm thinking, say, in the next few weeks, we might see another increment in fuel prices because of what is happening internationally, what is happening locally as far as the exchange rate is concerned. And already taxes are at petroleum prices. So I mean, this matter wouldn't end anytime soon.
I know, many GPRT Penny Baku Edin Como General Secretary of Fact Sheet. He made the point that agreement on many about is increment, drew 10%. They should come back for renegotiation. And Ramon, as you alluded, Russia and same Ukraine invasion, any and one corner back. Yeah, when you Nasa Kobase, especially with conversation about climate change and the fossil fuel, and what instance, the world is trying to cut down on this. Nasa Ekobani said, Esran Ekwa. The ordinary man suffers at the end of the day. Well, also bet me adult thoughts at the Abrain Aka Sima Minu within the 2 minutes, Utimi Afrain 0244885140. Na yafa call back with me nubi na fe na yakɔ sports 0244885140 and 0549508687 or comment bia yemfa a caller or two na fe no yentwaso na fe no yenkɔ aye for sports enti obi etimi boroma before 7 there we'll pick the individual. If not na yadane ho na yade sports update at the abre omanfo anapai which media no so but I feel and I do feeling at 200 here me mo akwa ever happy morning shows you made 5:30 anapai bia na ahia se kopem 9 yen cross over na fe no yen fa sports update no embre omanfo. You welcome back to the Happy Morning Show. I mean, I say the sports update, a bread at the 4 and a pay. Ramon Yamado, I acquired what the sports update a bread. Wait, and a pay sports then of course.
Some you are founder.
You are my founder. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A quite benzo.
Okay, media no can put in. Ah, you are my phone. Bakumian, I'm just to be a bakun, so be a baby. Oh,
you understand?
No matter. No matter. Oh, easily go. And now, Kwan is a minimum all day. If any say, clothes from being or the gum, you should say, I mean, I can't far window and baby, I'm a Tivoli and Paniso. Ever far phone, far laptop, far baby, man, when big it.
So, I mean, you know, Sulemuntai. Also, I see a bobo, my house of food. Now, Kotokone has CIA. If you game, no, Sule, so. And the fans are buffer, a papak. We be nice support. We love Sule. Timino Munko try selfie. Na selfie no more enough iPhone 13 Pro Max any bottle. You try selfie now na Sule. Obi you phone. Tiyaka say Sule Muntari after House of Kotoko game no. You be on the phone.
And then he has to hold them to answer. Ransom is the way out.
Happy 98.9 FM and I was so I would say share to the ETV Ghana and I share me also 7 day Happy Morning Show sports update. Abramo. 1xbet semen can choose a com website so 1xbet.com.gh 1xbet.com.gh register na be a new account to register now be a new account obama opportunity to enter a promo code they say enter a BETGH BETGH or enter sa promo code new year about 200% bonus on your first deposit. I know the messenger 1xbet semen from bro 1xbet to come website so amuna bookies are omuma ota kakraka just say o chrome hanya na bookies are wini ya na sikana begu account mo 1xbet almost say o come website so there are options there be brainer wo ho obetumi choose na otumi etisika pudo every nti we nyina e nsema o se men kan choba so ndi 18 na men call mo website so ko twa bet betting is addictive and bet responsibly. Yabasha Jumide na say yabasha say from the Ghana League Clubs Association, because GACA president our friend Kuju Fiano a report says 65th Independence Day celebration at Ghana bedino before sir akensi before yabetumi a community sir event no said President's Cup to me occurs on the 4th of March 2022. Now two teams are to me enya penny esi akan or President's Cup no Kumasi Asante Kotoko and the Accra for game no is expected to go on at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now, no bear part 2, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, any Hearts of Folk rivalry this season, no, and no bear part 2, Mbekaya 2019, no, Kumasi Asante Kotoko were champions of the President's Cup after beating House of Folk by 2-1. I can't see no better to me, Akosubium, now reports, say 50,000 Ghana cedis and the appearance fee. Yeah, two clubs. No, now both clubs will be benefited from 25% of the gate proceeds, with 50% going to GACA and the way and in Sema APFA also are trophies and medals because ama winners of this particular competition. President is expected to perform the ceremonial kickoff Emma Jumidiwea Ebekoso on the 4th of March 2022. In the way and in Sem Kakra if we were ever United States of America, we more United States of America and our U.S. women's national team no about to make a reach $24 million settlement over equal pay in Sensema Ebaya no in Chebia 6 years ago and omutumi a raise legal battle against Omo Federation say so money Berman omutumi the same pay, the same bonus bibia say to me a pay. Now after 6 years no and a settlement to me call so see no federation agree say about to me amount $24 million say omofa na omofa ko compensate omo ho na initially na omo hwehwe sika bebre na but omo to me edu agreement sa $24 million no eno na be sika omo to me e dey hwe omo hafa na omo patch say they've agreed to establish a fund with $2 million to benefit players in their post-soccer careers and charitable efforts omo pese omo ye na statement omo de buy no omo say we are pleased to announce that contingent on the negotiation of a new collective bargaining agreement we will have resolved our long-standing disputes over equal pay and proudly stand together in a shared common interest. Now, Megan Rapinoe or say, "Osha bola omoboa we legacy omoja ama generations omoba besi akan omode omabo omode omoko na de omoba no omoshe nim say we bet me aboa mo ewo career omankisa omochusi say ombesi akan ewo we ene sema efri ho eba yewemo ewo Jose Mourinho akache because Jose Mourinho sisi asena niama ekone de two match touchline ban and opening Jose Mourinho beji na over the weekend no Roma any Verona ebo 2-2 draw na Jose Mourinho edwane eko pitch no so any referee our friend Luca Piaretto eko chiche nkomo anase oko attack no na Italian Football Federation eka say Jose Mourinho made serious allegations against the referee and entered the pitch with a threatening attitude. We know Oma finding 20,000 euros, 16,670 pounds for the behavior in the course of that game. No, Nasisia so there. Obama say the next two matches are AS Roma. Ebebo touchline the enya dia obetumi abetina ho. We ene sema efri AS Roma kachi and Italian Football Federation kachi eba efa coach our friend Jose Mourinho ho. Yenremo ewo UEFA Champions League in sensem na UEFA Champions League finals no this year there no ebekoso ewo Russia St Petersburg na initially no na say akensi no ekoso ewo Kreskowski Stadium your friend no Gazprom Arena no ho na say akensi no anka say to me ekoso basisia ohwe nsema ekoso between Russia and Ukraine invasion is nsema ekoso no e ade a UEFA consider say UEFA Champions League finals is also on the 28th of May 2022 no on be moving from St Petersburg now on different venue on be kwakusi akano because of Nsema also UK Prime Minister and House of Commons no on Tuesday on receive consent over Russia hosting international football events in Yama we ama UEFA on consider switching final venue this year UEFA Champions League no way and in sema efriwa eba enra UEFA Champions League matches so Chelsea etina fie was Stamford Bridge and Lille eshia Chelsea etra Lille by 2-0 Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic and they share 2 goals was our game no now after the game no Thomas Tuchel your coach Chelsea at the December to Chelsea game no there na game no enwa the year pa na omo opponents na strong but omo making sure say good moments up and downs mutumi ninya so game no to me capitalize on opportunities amunya to make sure so to me a winning match na almost so keep clean sheet na almost so keep clean sheet our game no almost to me ama opponents ne chance bi asa obet to me athlete no mo na ni age set team no obet to me enya win yentie de Thomas Tuchel edited after the game. Thomas Tuchel, a coach and a manager at Chelsea Football Club. Other match, of course, on the night, no. Of course, our Estadio de la Ceramica, a hall, and a Bobo Kef and a BRL, and Juventus, a 33 seconds into the game, and a branch of Freno, Dusan Vlahovic, to me, a first goal in the game. A branch and now, or Yanni debut, our UEFA Champions League, ama Juventus, a branch and a first goal, and Sana Dani Parejo, or to me, Enya Equalizer in the 66th minute, a game, no, 1-1, and end the second leg, no, but to me, Akoso in Turin in a fortnight. And matches number 2 also in the UEFA Champions League. Atletico Madrid betting now home ground, Wanda Metropolitano, now Manchester United, they are faced with Ralph Rangnick, coach of Manchester United, I can't see any dear. No, a mobile dimpa, and the players, so they are more expected to say red carpet treatment, and a Bemamo, Wanda Metropolitano, na Diabeco Subiano, game leader on himself, it won't be decided today. Now, second leg, no, and a bit decided, Nipa will be progressive to the next stage of the competition. Ralph Rangnick.
We need to play tactically on a high level, physically, mentally. We need to be prepared for a very emotional, if not even hostile atmosphere in that stadium. Some of our players will not be received with a red carpet, obviously. So, yeah, this is what we're all aware of. But I think we have enough experience in the team, and on the other hand, also enough talented young players. I think the mix of those two groups is perfect. And we're looking forward to that game. This is why we're all here and why we love this ball game, in order to play like in stadiums like tomorrow, and then in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks when we have the second leg to play at Old Trafford. For tomorrow, it's about getting the best possible result. I don't think that the game and the fixture will be decided tomorrow. It will be decided in the second leg at Old Trafford.
Ralph Rangnick and Okasa and a game number so Wanda Metropolitano second game of the night no because Estadio da Luz Lisbon and a Benfica betting after now on Ajax Amsterdam on their face so and I'm the Happy Morning Show sports update BBC ya better name kakra ya babaka the Happy Morning Show continues.
And welcome back to the Happy Morning Show, 17 minutes after 7. And I pay Yedi Nkomo, and there's so much we have been discussing this morning, some which has to do with allegations. The Honorable Kennedy Japan making some which has to do with the petroleum prices and extra airco and transport fares are so by 15%. I know that the headlines of the newspapers also captured Utah, one more striker, one more suspended for 2 weeks, hoping that government would be able to, meet their needs with respect to one more demand that they've been making over the period. Yedi sa enkomo we nyina no medical catcher say and will retrace our steps and go back to the issue we're discussing FA Dudufie a war OT region school in very good condition, but as a result of the absence of students in Tinum Adano essay na essay steps are ye take here even more na ye headmaster no edin komoni ebisa what led to the situation school no abandoned you na ya twaso emiroma will touch on other issues live on the show this morning, but twaso na yemfa yenka emra emfa embre amount but even before that techpreneurship and pay ye the entity how to secure your phone from hackers. Ye catch say don't use your birthday, don't use your year of birth, don't use your name, don't use things that are common to people. Use a hashtag, use capital letters, use numbers and your password so that people cannot easily hack your phone. But never leave your phone unattended. Never leave your phone unattended. Change your phone's default passcode. Manage your Bluetooth security and protect your PIN and credit card data. And to information that you did more amount for and pay as part of your techpreneurship tips that you did a break amount for. Then our Happy Morning Show. So yento also na yemfa yenka embra embre amanfa no pay be equality and freedom from discrimination. Lawyer Bobby Bunsen at the home entity ebre.
The Constitution also says that every person is entitled to education. So that if you make yourself available to be educated, you're entitled to it, subject to the qualifications or the limits that the Constitution or any other applicable law has set. And so equality before the law means that if the law provides for any facility or right or amenity for persons in like circumstances or situations, every person who finds himself in that circumstance or situation should be entitled to that facility or enjoy that amenity. If you do not find yourself in that like situation or circumstance, then you are not entitled to it. That is what the Constitution says. That is what the applicable says. Freedom against discrimination. You should not be discriminated against because you find yourself in a situation that is not one that disqualifies you from benefiting from any right or any law provided by the Constitution. So you have a perfect example of the Rastafarians who wanted to go to secondary school and they were denied. And they went to court. And the Human Rights Court said that once they fit the criteria of having access to senior high school, passing the examination, the BCE, and then undertaking to abide by the rules of the school, they cannot be denied access to the school, or they cannot be denied that facility or that right that the Constitution provides. And so every definition of equality before the law or freedom against discrimination should be interpreted in that context of persons in like situations should not be denied opportunities that the law has provided for every other person in that situation. And that is how I believe that we should look at the subject.
Me my Ghana now also odo o my Ghana na I know any question that maybe say on pay. Do you love your nation Ghana? We've been o my Ghana ho and if you know ye say on pay wo call abontin na wo koye adwuma no say oye caterer say oye lecturer say oye doctor say oye nurse say oye teacher whatever profession trotro driver o my Ghana ho adwene and da wakoma pono so ade no se profit margin a wo pe no eye abia 2% a enye ne 10% ne a wonu bi eho be kire no na wonu woni pefe se opese oto phone oto ne 10 Ghana cedis nka wonya profit of 2 cedis a nka nye bad na mo ne pa boni se mo nti ope 100% profit. And the phone out on the 10 cedis, utu charges in your 10 cedis, no, you want to sell it for 20 Ghana cedis because you're looking for more. Okotoka, obetu duty, obebi BAE, no, it comes to around 30,000, maybe 40,000, and you want to sell that car for 90,000. Subawi, and the Mayamano, imu ayedin. Subawi, and the Mayamagana, Nishino, ayedin. Yo, dear. Mr. Member from Udia. Now sometimes, ye momo dia fa partisan politics no, ye fa two form kakra. NPP NDC sem no, e doso dodo. Jine Ghana ho kane. Ni ameyo yi no. E bebo me my Ghana na. Se bebo ma Ghana, kwose na yo. Se bebo party na mbo ma Ghana, enyo. The party came to meet the nation Ghana. NDC ebeto Ghana. NPP ebeto Ghana. Think about Ghana first and pay. What do you Ghana hono na oko register your SIM card no? Ghana say register your SIM card. Register your SIM card easy. But star 404 hash our phone no so follow the prompts. We go through the process we are. My code be we are now call a year or service provider. Vodafone, MTN, Eteltigo, Okohonoma, no complete process no with Ghana card and a digital address. The batch from what was 0800-110-622. Now only NCA4 ending commerce be Echewajune Kakra. Now omo emfa home enchichemu emfa bro. And then ETV so ayed bruta. Or share a happy morning show no ewie no your point ya the telenovela atwa so we are the other music as atwa so But Sundays is kwampo na aye demo no, because we all need inspiration. Sometimes we go through a down moment and Charlie, you need somebody to speak to you. Sometimes the music doesn't help. Sometimes the motivational message doesn't help. Sometimes the preaching doesn't help. But sometimes you want to hear a true story of someone who has been able to transform his life with the business away. And a Grass to Grace Baswo. Kwasia de bia 6:30 p.m. Ewo ETV Ghana. Yesua de womo nyamikopon dum wa pija womo story no how they started the journey. Ne fabako mienu miensa e de afrimo na yanka sansozo ye de boy embra. Enti kwasia de bia Grass to Grace medie minia bomodi aso be TV ene womo captains of industry. And you know more edin komo and Bombardier say then you know also Odiwani ebedi Adonko next level premium energy drink. Women, you know that I need Adonko after a double bar. G Adonko bako efabreme na membo na memfa enye dwumedi no vitamins ewmu proteins ewmu eboa ema energy eboa ema high concentration and memory improvement and the Bombardier say also obepebie na anope no wabo obetimi from 0204898698 and 0592610998. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Only 18 years and above and numbi oba wafa yefunu anase woma akoda no fon susu no mepacho eno susu no enumbi enti nyina no yenhye no nso. Second Image International Skills College for say yen kan che Ghana for say minia ene ensanodwuma ena sika wo mu ensanodwuma ena sika wo mu. Last time I call one of the most now we do na young ladies be more de canopy be si honum na emei edru honuma na wo makwa na ye mo facials na ye mo facials na wo mo 100 150 Ghana. And the number of people who had gone for the facials that day, I could imagine the amount of money the people left there with. Na ememe so ma bom mo shows ni omo sandasi udru honuma na achiwo ni de watina ho na ye ayi onade ne eno ne de pedicure. Ni aye pedicure no e de amount ni aye won sound so de na ma no na onan no ehwo afefefe minim how much you charge you mo na o ka bibia na minim how much you charge you mo but aye adwuma omanfo ya wo mo enye sika papa and a wedding or baby kwa wedding now he make up ya bon fe na e hwe set up my year for the wedding no recently a mass wedding she set up a ni nyina no entity no efi a Second Image International Skills College enti ebanon beauty therapy home sensem dia me pacho eno ane Second Image International a Skills College massage makeup facials nail technology hairdressing and fashion designing ni nyina wo mo ekirewo enti sa akwada no we JHS SHS anase impo or a diploma bi ana impo wo degree na opese osua bia menim obi a wakosua ade ho ma okutane degree but ene ono ane permanent tade onko ayi obi aho ane akopam edema no and opam edema amanfo na ogi wo mu ensu esika regardless o ni degree o ye na adwuma Saturdays and Sundays na o ye ne part time adwuma ade aka ho enti ade ntina wo so nkosua bi e Second Image International Skills College from 024333 1999 so one can hanum say akumase 0204403348 then 0244861610 and asoga ko probably from 0240195951 na onyomo edi enkomo now obi honoma minia okoni fia asem nkwa because one hwini ya na o the tick and ade free ho one hwini ya na the fleece and ade free ho one hwini ya na the bed bags and ade free honum pomodian ase minia obepe wo mu akwadare ewa adwuma mu na wo mu fumigate wo fie honum ede ama wo mu fumigate wo office honum ede ama na adwuma pa na wo kɔ kitchen na wo kɔ didi na bon se tafre bi ana nam table no so no na wo kɔ adwuma mu na wo kɔ didi na obohu se ants ana nam honum no ni nyina no it doesn't all go well and the companies institutions schools are sorry enyina no me papacho ye nyina yem bomboden se ne Dolphinom fumigation services for everyday enkomo bomo enomo bresa no ma we nyina ase no mo keep environment no clean sometimes when we esprima and bobi etise owo scorpions nyina dia normally we find in our compounds, you won't see them anymore. And to as they offer a fumigation services, edema amount for cleaning and hygiene supplies to offices, residential apartments, shipboards, farms, warehouses, hotels, restaurants, and more. Malam Junction, adjacent Kitech Tower, Accra Filmo, 050-407-1884 and 03-42-292-812. Now more ending common. Dofnom Fumigation Services, the pest control expert you can trust. And we information at your day air bro. EDC Force and Cancho Seminia, invest. Tronim kakra sometimes, and there. Yen play loose this year there. Oma you be this kind of kakra. Ekwaji ni prawns mushrooms mushrooms. Friend say octopus so na octopus. Seafood is here healthy living and ye live. But ye ni nyina no na ya adwene wana minds day. This kind of kakra e dey si honoma eno ene dey investment. Investment EDC for the mawa meaning you are assured the safety and protection of your investment. Usikano enkoba bia asembia enkoba home because they are part of a group one more renowned worldwide Ecobank group no one more part of it intimia usikano secured interest component our demand is no mind blowing and see adding down for usikano enkoma EDC for no more interest for no more emma advisor usikasem ebetu impon na da nyina na nyese obefre na o fati unsene me 100 Ghana me ho akire mi o na unsene me 200 Ghana me ho akire mi o dabi that life can stop if you decide to invest the right way. Call www.ecobank.com/swam na onyomo nd enkomo anabetimi WhatsApp yomo 0595235065 and 0302-634-165 na onyomo edi enkomo EDC. Almost financial independence is possible. And I pay for the purposes of one more and any da woman do my feeding at 200 Missia. If I in coma a chassis, if I do fee, one more school year, a whole ensign seminar chassis didn't come on. Video of the situation at the moment of the school. Yen projected near front to screen so na afe no yendi ho enkom nti say wo hwe and pay TV so. This is a building you see here na a house a pupils bomu esua de ewo eye dodo efie JHS abandoned at the moment to rot na ewo Oti region. There have been several reasons from your correspondent and Indian Common watch church we said the entire ABA a man no ekoba and says school a dane and so and kodano ensua de omo. He made the point to say one more equatorial exams no am say ankoyi and intino kromano say the exams equatorial na say ntwa de na high why then. It's one of the reasons that he believes might account for the absence of the students in the classroom. But what steps have been taken to remedy the situation over the period that enkodai equatorial exams here ankoyi ene yedi ehwe enkomo no assembly no anamontuben and womu etu GS womu ewo honum anamontuben and wonso etu wo make sure say anyebia no such a beautiful edifice it will come back ibitimi utilize it windows ni nyina no utimi say esi ho ache nintino it's all deteriorating oko Facebook na ofhwehwe happy 989 FM and ETV Ghana you will see the video of the deplorable situation school dan ewo mu a ene yeso kubia okudru konimu na ofrem kwada na se yenkoni nkosia dom say hey yempa de so ho asem bia obi amfa na ba bi ne enso yemfa ba bi. And it's a very sad development especially at the time pedan womo enya bi so last year ni di nkomo efa school na nkwada no edafom womo yefunu so womo di esua de some portion of a classroom no kwampo no na not yenkwa and yet for a year do the fee for the one more building no name students and womunya to fill the classrooms. Teachers and so yesterday we got to hear so omanya new headmaster Boba Arabet Nemo na say womo attitude no masanya to attract the students to come back to the classroom. But that's how bad the situation is at Oti Regional. Dudufie JHS no yejaya essay na titi apansam.
I think there are a few steps that need to be taken to make sure say school no assign agina nena subio. One of the steps any sensitization because when your correspondent Nikasaya no he made me understand say Enkolano prefer entrepreneurship. Say ono angasa akoye ne job ba ono angasa ba akoye akodo nefo to so be better school. But when we sensitize parents and Enkolana ankasa to let them know say uko school sa entrepreneurship na wo ye no ehye kena emaneye from more into at least basic education be there e was say oje ehye ukotodwemu e was say awo for so yetumi sensitize your mom who say education is the only leveler in this fight against poverty no uko school a certain level of you can say cushion bia it ebetimi ama wa level up and also ebetimi ama wa ko with him enti school no ehu hia enya sa it will be a vicious circle o kwa na wasa wa we ohia ni o baso anko school wa be ohia ni sa na moko round sa nipa no ko bi echoba wo ebeyi ekromo ho a choba say na ebetimi ebie wo ho barber shop say na ebetimi ebie wo ho enti eventually no bi ebie barber shop obi ebie choba one na akakota ho edi an one na ekoyi ho enti enti no I will say sensitization no etimi ekoso wo ho again what kind of relationship and teachers wo honom no na omone nkwala ni relate omone awofo ni relate me hu some videos bi na teachers omafa microphone omonam krom ye bi school omomra ya hwe videos bi teachers bi omode asane ade ajeje nkwala nani a nkwala no mo anko school kra no mu ntumi because some person mo ko hu omo teacher no no mu ntumi di saasa no eno eye ade bi ombetimi a teachers are teaching omo passion they would want to take the extra mile to ensure say nkwala abe school ana again attitude between teachers and students and also to me impact learning be no man culture and some failing is it the fault of the teachers? Is it the fault of the students? I think they need to meet halfway. I will say school na enjoyable man kwala no mutumiche the omusia no egu omotrim. Na say if teacher be because senior what here nti no uko school 2 days 3 days wonko akwala no so esita onko woni fufu ni ade a how do you expect some back with exams so no one pass again on the part of government e be some eniyama bi mekai say the I don't know whether it was assemblyman or Nene Kasayo say your correspondent mentioned say be a school feeding program ebe do wa ebetimi entize nkwala no ama omabe school pese o madwin na be kwakoye aduane nko anan so if it is something that would make children at least come to school in anticipation say a bottle of amenya bibie dia na omoba the time period obi kra ha a bottle of no je aduane ni wi okofie but at least between 8 and 12 no na me sure say wachi bibi kakra egu ni trim until when we desanya when nyina boma and na betumi ama school na ejina new headmaster na ede na ba ho no the strategy ni say first of all the place has to be put in order I will say ede nkonya desk ni ade kwa ho like it needs to be inviting enough now for ni sit down na ye sensitization no echo we hu nti Samuel main I think is if headmaster no me new the plans and any strategy or what or do be make sure the school no ebegina but just a few things I me feel say who be here say we say na ma school no ejina.
Well, the little I can add to and I won't get myself stuck at just Dudu fear, but I will try and broaden the conversation for education and its relevance. First, what they can I make a point and say whether we like it or not, education epijao could dream pempens will be a you free the normal platform you can then torpedo yourself to maybe our person will crow say you be sit down fortunately for us, this school is not too distant from the community. A one more empomechi and Kodano a bit me ako school no makusiade. But young funny say the argument no say and Kodano kusia de we omokotre exams no. One passing no and I'm on 2 any 2 year at the farm to encourage them to resit the papers and to pursue a further education. School was our areas who honor meaning and young fan say secondary school sir do I and a honor and a particular school way and could equatria or man pass a quampono. We could have found a means to get them into almost tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 schools in educational system. And so couldn't we have found a means to get these students into a tier 3 school, a tier 2 school in this community on betimi atwa at the channel eso. The issue about a year counseling so ebemu. Yeah, ye war a year kokesi money. Me kai misha na me ye culture exams. We had somebody come to counsel us. We had somebody giving us advice as to even what schools to choose and what schools not to choose. We had people teach us exams room what you have to do at the time. The catcher said, what's now on it is not a rush to start writing. Take your time as much as say be a time no. Most say at one money during time no, it's a time no ever soon. But take your time, go through the questions, especially section B. Normally you say answer 3 questions. First one our who need betimi answer pa na de unim so part no. And no first question I was say answer. No actually we question 2. We question 3. We question 4. Question 4 na the one him say oh my holding enhye da enni hodom. Ye church sa no mo we nyina senia ye kotena hodom it gave us wisdom as to how to approach questions you could do exams more. Party would you say some koda was as school they have gotten this kind of advice, this kind of treatment to guide them. Look, we wrote 3 different mock papers as on the cultural exams. Yeti hey, are we aware say bia enkodai mock do one hen and omo chro ya e be prepare wo for exams no mo kwakotro no. And these are all things that in certain areas no but in certain areas no do we do them. Number 3 ye postings regime our my we say mo say oh my school me ya yes o ye de me ko akwakoto baby me ko ho na eniji bia enimi mu se me de kokwa akokira de e wo honom e bia me ko me national service na se me ko bi hono the comforter me de e ko hono any ho. There was a video we saw teacher form of akokira nkoda de ensuo bi wo honom ensuo no du honom unless we budambares ansa na watimi akroso ensuo no na wako akokira de in the next village. Unim dambares we yo na say now the sense from now when I will now we when the baris minim at the club but we dey so san na e ka no
e bia no bro for doing na
the bro for doing no and the minim
okay
minim. But these are all things that I believe if they are done in deprived locations now it will help. Say a honum no mum na e wo say me ani e ko honum the more a honum no ene e wo say di teacher for they have the desire to teach. A hon ene wo say di omo ekro. Enye teacher ni a wonye na de say obefiri kro kase mu. Na nakoto ekura ase. Ede na okokira de wonom. Won kira de okotira wonom ma enkwara momentina ase no aye no asori okon the baby. So enkwande a na ye kire wo mo. And how will they pass? I'm hoping say anywhere me ya no for to say na kind steps will be taken to restore ASR building we say na enkodano any mechanism any approach we be utilize it I ensure say enkodano ni betimi enya omo amoma back to school no e benya omo amoma back to school na eye dudufie womo JHS ya abandon no yetimi e de aba. I'm hoping say e be a teacher for a womonim de no mo pair eye adwuma no amomo so akwakira de e wo sa school mu e wo dudufie. Yeah.
So no. And I said no no makano.
ene
ya mesins a onni hwe kana me fa we into asesa me
fatoso
eya me ne teacher fo bi mu enya nkita ho especially teachers o mo kira de ewo hinterlands no same yes education is free right free basic compulsory education but our also have a responsibility towards nkwala amawo mo so your class education is free are you expecting say me fa say akwala na yama the books wo school or ko school otumi education ade wo e bia yama the pen and pencil na ade aka ho enti obefia untumi nto pen and pencil ba ko ntu fia obefia so odu betumi de ye homework na ade awofo bi ma omuti free no eno ano no yes school feeding wo ho wunim say awofo bi wa breakfast crown farmer ne ba because school feeding wo ho enti akola ne do come back to school na wia na yama na eduane and that's the only food that akola ne bedi. And sometimes it is not a matter of minibi. It's just irresponsibility and the feel say say free and composing ti parents need to start to feel the need say akola no ko school wie in as much as said the obesia na onye adwuma na oya or the boy mine no who na oya first beneficiary. Either say it's not even about akola ne de ba show but you say so one ma so o ma me and one ma wo be nsu won nkola brema wo be su won kokra brem no if akola no wan go school when nye adwuma anye ontimi fa ne nsa anye hwe on ni nsa ne adwuma bia because of education e dey na wo be sha na consider wo be wu enti no is it not better say akola no wako school and now why ba de and back na de
NVT
we be a different
TVET
ni adea ebia owo ne nsa no dwuma bi ana wabo ni degree bi ana waye ne masters bi wako ne training college bi wako ne nursing college bi a oye adwuma even if all mra wu sika ono angasa de hwe ne ho nti I think just parents especially your mom in class no they need to understand the importance of education and more responsibility towards their buying area almost some de beboa na nkola na etiminya education na ye.
No, Fati, there's a point you made that I think say this modern age in there we call program bia you chile me say modern day parenting you don't look forward to say wo baba be hwe.
Exactly.
Plan your life for your own retirement to say have a ball bra at the end of the day no what to normal senior from the age of 60-65 ekoni nyina no wo bibia e behwe wan kasa so ma behwe wo so mo nhwe wo ene de e wo chiasema but plan your life without your kids in mind say wo ma behwe because wo mo so e wo mo so face a wo mo e ba behwe mo at the time I was 60 years na bi onyanya adwuma ho akere wo at the time I was 60 years na bi an adwuma say ya ho akere wo at the time I was 60 years na bi a bibi ato abofra na ho akere wo so plan your life without your kids in mind but party teacher for nsem ya na wo ka ho asemi and the parenting enye easy o party yet hanum say na bi a 2 cities, 3 cities, 5 cities. Any issue my yeah 5 Ghana cities yeah the to fruit. Ewaha. Ya je popo kakra ne ajiwe kakra. 5 Ghana cities will be negatory no in some communities. And so and you say bia was check the responsibilities deliberately. But the do is not there.
Sammy, what could crash yeda?
Oh. Material crash yankasa.
Please.
You
know, it's not a can I say it's not a blanket statement, but I'm just speaking to a bit more or more feel say I buy say a free you know from akolane breakfast lunch supper ni uniform ni books ni tea obeko akoyi bibia buy issue me the family what am I saying? Of course there are some parents are genuinely it's difficult for them. Me share some documentary be nkolano omuye mienu but parents could afford one uniform inti baakuko school wa hihye ne say mubekọ anopa ne ewia inti baaku the uniform ne kọ anopa upon no dibirika be fie na ba ko no so age no de kwa ewia. That is a parent all making effort. Ankasa ko beti aka say uniform ne ba ko nti ba ko nkwa na ba ko nti na fie. What must say? So that is what I'm talking about. I understand say genuinely. Na sa me omo ya ye tu krom akra ye feel say ye enye adwuma ye ne ade no. Sometimes ye din. Ube unta aka wo last bi a o calculate me fan to fuel ana me fan to aduane ana so calculations need to make also.
Yeah.
What must say? Even esikafo bi our investment ni ade. Obi we be wa kra nyoma eba because of that, you know. 10 cedis square in the bottom sometimes.
Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Very. Well, yeah, boy homodin say yensa aka dudofie one more headmaster na any bidin come. But in the meantime, still within the educational sector na Raymond, UTAG one more strike one more are calling no almost suspended, not called off. They have suspended the strike. One more SC 2 weeks. He said woman are buying couldn't come on here Ebeka Kofa every more head Abba. Ray, about your UTAG can start break. Open so I don't pick up break.
Sorry. UTAG suspends strike for 2 weeks to engage government on demands. The University Teachers Association of Ghana has decided to temporarily suspend its industrial strike action to demand better conditions of service. This decision comes after the National Executive Council (NEC) of UTAG held a meeting at the University of Professional Studies Accra on Thursday to deliberate on the way forward regarding the withdrawal of teaching and related services on various campuses. In a statement signed by both the National President and National Secretary, Professor Solomon Nuno and Dr. Asari Asantiano, respectively, said at the end of the meeting it was agreed that UTAG should heed to the advice of the eminent leaders, the Parliament Select Committee on Education, and the court ruling to suspend our strike action up to 4th of March 2022 to engage with government. That in line with the bylaws of UTAG, i.e. Article 5, Section 1 to 4, the general membership must be informed for ratification or otherwise of the decision to suspend our strike action, the statement read. The statement also highlighted that a roadmap for the negotiation between government and UTAG has been agreed. Also, the employer has committed to improving the conditions of service of UTAG members, and the negotiations will commence in earnest and be completed within the agreed period and the outcome communicated to members. UTAG members were further directed to return to the classroom for negotiations with government to continue within the set period. However, it's unclear when exactly lecturers should return to the classroom. It is recalled that UTAG on January 10, 2022 declared an industrial strike action to press home for better conditions of service. Basically, they come back to the Nima Edibidru Hano into statement about
Well, everyone, it's refreshing. It's refreshing that we hear say UTAG is going back to the classroom, and the negotiations can continue. After all, that's what we all have been looking forward to. So, Omeko class na Union Momo University no Ometimi and I saw a release from KNUST almost so eto senior academic work can begin na enkodano etimi esuade. This has impacted on students very much, and I've been concerned about Sikaumachia hostel aduane omadi and sanoma no money nyina. But for me, I see say UTAG has been very smart in its fight for a year one more demand one more amici of government. Say okay, say court nesi embra neme chirade yate, but the eba for only 2 weeks, given a window of 2 weeks to negotiate with government. And I'm 2 weeks now. I ask myself, say, would 2 weeks suffice for such an important matter as their salaries, which could not be resolved within 1 month? Would 2 weeks suffice? When I asked myself that question, I told myself, say, 2 weeks may not suffice. 2 weeks may not allow room for proper deliberations as to the demands of a year UTAC free. But body language is important. But the way you speak is important. But keeping your word and your promises is important. And so I'm hoping, say, the Ministry of Finance, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, the National Labour Commission, and all of them, their posturing, their body language will be that of people that when they speak, their words can be trusted. So that within that 2 weeks, if they tell UTAC for, say, within the next 3 months, every quarter, we are going to pay this amount, we are going to do this, we are going to do this, UTAC would believe them and stay on campus and teach. But then I was reading a piece will be a troya of the Wa Town Hall meeting, any statement attributed to the finance minister. He is quoted as saying, say, Finance Minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta said, although demand by public sector workers for salary increment is legitimate, the government has no money at the moment to meet the demand, hence efforts to generate domestic revenue. Speaking in Wa in the Upper West region during the 4th town hall meeting on the e-levy on Monday, February 21st, he said, I look at teachers and civil servants, for example, and I will be the first to admit that the salaries are indecent. Nobody will argue with that. At the same time, it is 60% of all the revenue we collect from 700,000 people, which goes into salary payment. That is also a fact. If I listen to something like this of the finance minister admitting, say, yes, indeed, you need to market yourself, and pay ye. And ye pay, say, in tria, sika papa and famamo. Name situation I find you any, and it's in tria. I think say someone will catch you when you put us an EBR. Will bet me at 2 hours here. No more time to organize yourself to meet his or her demands. But it's also indicative, say, the finance minister is telling the union, they say, other than that, this adjustment in salaries you are looking for would have paid. And so, is there a possibility that we may hit a snag again? Those will be my thoughts on this matter.
Well, Sammy, you can see, sir, lecturers reluctantly agreed to suspend the strike, and UTA the Omoka and almost say it had to get to the point where vice chancellors Ephraim Catchum say, I'm not sure no one suspend the strike now, and they also had to take into consideration calls from the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education. You can clearly tell, say, they may have called off the strike, and so say some members of UTAC did not agree to call off the strike.
Yeah.
But that said, what UTAC is expecting within the next 2 weeks, and they say roadmap at the whole. I say almost so the negotiations find a battle and a makeable settlement. Now they are expecting say almost him say this time round I buy BT the Omukano. And I listened to Professor Nuno. I'll say they are cautiously optimistic. Say I buy to me deliver, because in the past, we've been down this road before. You suspend the strike, you go back to the negotiation table. Now we go back to the same cycle again. This time around, they are hoping things will change.
Right.
Okay.
Wait, my main manager madam ne yaw agbenyo enin komo PRO Emma Grasak. Yeniomo edin komo last week about how students are faring on campus. In Bisano, how they feel about the return of their lecturers to a campus. Yo, good morning.
Good morning, Senior.
Yo, the news of the suspension of the strike by more lecturers as Grasak, how are you receiving this news?
Well, it's in line with our call. When we spoke to the ministry, we went to the Minister of Education. After the Minister of Education, we met UTAG national executives as well. And we relayed it to them that if it would be possible, they should just listen to the government and give them a few weeks to see how they're going to respond to it. And this time they decided to give them the benefit of the doubt. So we are one of the groups that called on. If you look at the letter that UTAG released, GASAG is one of those groups that called on UTAG to try and then meet government backdoor and see if they will be able to this time redeem their pledges. And so these 2 weeks that have been given to government is just an ultimatum, hoping that they will do the right thing. If after these 2 weeks they don't do the right thing, then UTAG may have to consider going back on strike, and then that would mean that this time no amount of coercion or no amount of pleadings will cause or will be able to bring UTAG back to the classroom. So we are hoping that this time the government will be able to address the needs of the lecturers within these 2 weeks, so that issues will be resolved. Yeah.
This is your hope you express that government would be able to resolve the concerns of UTAG. What is this founded on? Say 1 month, 2 weeks, any bit me who be?
Say, Sana Minister needed 2 years. That is the plea that the minister put on our table. Well, the minister Nekache and said, "Yen kosre UTAG for mano, na UTAG mano sometime." And the yen busan say, "Inti sometime no, unquantified sometime no, 1 week, 1 month, 2 weeks. How long is that sometime?" And we agreed on 2 weeks. Inti no. 2 weeks no, and a year agreement. Minister of Education have a answer and UTAG for a meeting.
All right, yeah. Hold on 1 second, mommy. Hold on 1 second for me, yeah. Now, men call the other line soon. Dr. Samuel Bodi Kusi Ninkomo UTAG UCC. One more president, ending Komo. Na Yembisano. How campuses and whether the 2 weeks is enough for them to resolve the issues. One more table. Doc, it's good to have you on the show again.
My brother, good morning.
Now, Anapa, know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not one.
Yo, Anapa, good news about Muslim will come back to the classrooms for the next 2 weeks there. You're hoping that you'll be able to resolve issues. But would 2 weeks suffice?
Oh, my brother, I have said earlier, issues now. They have said 3 days. If we say, tickets were money, the employer side, I'm not asking no more work your numbers, no more work your scenarios. Now, even behind the scenes, I'm sharing with UTAG for us to also compare with our notes. Now, even where they want to start from, and then the game planner. I think we should be able to finish these things within the shortest possible time.
Yes, because I'm any kind our finance minister admitted that or you're concerned about a more salary situation, lecturers, public servants, or you're concerned say it's not enough. But he also admitted say Sika any honum publicly he made this statement. And Some 3 days here, I woke up so a yes, numbers no. More crunchy we are, your confess can over here, and the abitua. Wabra Nipa Sika Nikutan and Sisika, Ebiniho.
I wouldn't want to respond directly because finance minister is his job to find money. The Osisi can be that is why we learn to prioritize. And UTAC is not saying changing at a go. We are open. It is a negotiation. We go to the negotiating table with an open mind. But if you come to the negotiating table singing a song to us that there is no money, then it means that there should be no negotiation. So I don't think that what the finance minister is saying should apply directly to UTAC. Because if that is the process, then all our members will feel that any moment is happy. But we have considered the plea from all the stakeholders and also gotten the assurance from the government side. They are ready to sit down and discuss. So for us, we are not taking what the finance minister has said into this negotiation at all, because the case existed, and we all knew what the state of the economy has been. But that is why we are leaders. Leaders find solutions.
Opani, also you were giving assurances. These assurances, no, the
assurance that they are ready to do something about our conditions of service.
Something about your conditions of service.
Yes, to improve, and that is why they ask for time to enable them to now with us and they start this thing.
Now, Amaka said they will do something about it. No, were there any indicators to say, the restoration of the earlier agreement and Amasano and Omojun who are now say, we
all know from the word goes there. We are looking at the issue of bridging the gap of the eroded input market premium, whichever way you look at it. So that has been the conversation. So, because we have come from a point that the salary has eroded up to a certain point. So if you are committed to doing something about it, it simply means that you accept that indeed the condition has eroded, and or the salary has eroded, and you want to do something to improve it. So that is the context in which we have been having this conversation.
Opani, over a month of a year time and also a year academic work, you try as a result of a year strike, we say. What happens to the academic calendar? Sammy, I will come back to the classroom now.
Oh, we're not there. It is in the bosom of the academic board. And, I want to believe, I know most of the universities, academic boards are meeting to look at the calendar. And once we decide, I'm sure that will be communicated.
Now, from what we've been reading in the news, there are indications that a lot of your members did not agree or subscribe to your decision to suspend the strike. Is that the case?
Oh, yeah, largely, I think some members are not happy with the decision of the National Executive Committee. But I can say if they were fully informed, from our point of view, because we are in the leadership and we have great access to information. And that is how we evaluated all these things based on the information we have. And the need to give room for this window or negotiation to start so that we know how to proceed. It is expected, based on history or precedent, people naturally will react to situations. In the past, some agreements have not been heeded to. But you see, we're coming from a point where UTAC naturally does not trust the side of the employer, and the side of the employer also has some bit of trust issues with us. We decided that let's give room to build state trust. And that is how come we decided to suspend. So we knew, say, your members know, it was not going to be a popular decision. But leadership is like that. Sometimes you have to take self-decision. And then we try to get the members along. We know there will be a lot of dissenting voices from probably most of the campus. But I'm sure that will be another phase which we will still overcome.
All right. Yadi yankomo tuhwe no ebeti hanu say Dr. Samuel Body Kusi na yado wase. Na anya bia no mo first negotiation meeting da bay.
Something we are discussing, and we know there are some meetings for today on the, so far as I'm concerned, I think the government side is having some discussions today. On the side, we are also certainly a meeting tomorrow to look at the situation. So I want to believe that from tomorrow to Friday there will be a meeting.
Maybe a quick one. Anyebiano, what is UTAG going to the negotiations with in terms of concessions you can make and those you cannot make?
Oh, I think those ones are behind the scene discussions, which I can't make public. But of course, we are ready to go into this negotiation with a very open mind.
Doc, Evedowasi.
Medawasi.
Dr. Samuel Body Kusi, president of UCC chapter UTAG, Yeneno AD and Komo, our happy morning show. So, come back to Yao. Na Yembisa Yao. At the moment, how students are feeling with the news to say lectures back to the classrooms. Yao, feeling it in our campus?
Chief, we are happy, we are not happy.
Why?
We are happy, we are not happy. Because, as I told you, we met the Minister of Education and met UTAG national executives, and we all agreed that there will be a 2 weeks ultimatum given to government. And for that, once that has been listened to, we are happy over there. On the other hand, we don't trust government because over the years and over the period, government has created that room of suspicion. Government has created that room of suspicion. And we are happy that UTAG has agreed to call off the strike for the 2 weeks, but we are also afraid that government might not do the burden of UTAG at this moment. The only thing that can make our happiness complete and full is when government agrees or lives by their side of this bargain. Of course, they called for the 2 weeks. They said they were okay with the 2 weeks, and so it has been given to them. So now that these 2 weeks have been given to government, we hope that it will be enough to resolve this issue amicably, permanently, once and for all. Because we have held students on hold for so long. If government does not know what GASAG and other student leaders are doing backdoors, we keep holding students, we keep calming them down, calming down nerves, and we keep pouring water on every attempt they make to go out. We have done this for so long, and so we would want to plead with government at this time that we don't want any disappointment after these 2 weeks. We don't want the issue where they will give us these 2 weeks. The 2 weeks have been given them. People who have traveled far and near have gone back to their houses, and then they will go back to campus within these 2 weeks, and government will not do what they have to do, and students will have to travel back again to their houses because lecturers might go on strike again if government refuses to live by their 2 weeks mandate. And so, though we are happy, we are exercising some kind of fear and some kind of mistrust and distrust. We are not really assured as to whether these 2 weeks ultimatum will be for real or one of those political deceptions, and we hope it is not one of them.
Final question is students' preparedness for academic work for the next 2 weeks, and whether the 1 month that's elapsed, what your expectations are in terms of whether the academic calendar is going to stay same or some extensions have to be made.
Well, as to whether the academic calendar will be twisted or will be revised or whatever, it's up to the ministry. And we students, we are like water. It is the container that we are given. We take the shape of the container we are given. And so we cannot dictate how things should be run now that we are to go back to school. And so we are just waiting on the authorities to tell us what to do. Those who have traveled home, we will call on them to go back to campus and continue with their academic work so their future is not jeopardized.
All right. I thank you, Yao, for joining me this morning. Yao Agbonyo is the PRO for GRASAC, joining us this morning on the Happy Morning Show. Not overflow, and Sana, I interrupted you for that interview.
Yes, I think that generally, Yao Akambi and Prof. So he said a lot about what we should expect moving forward. I think that's government's work is well cut out for them. They have to make sure they meet the conditions in that roadmap for the teachers to suspend this 2-week suspension now on Modiabano. For the teachers to go to the classroom and for us not to hear of any strike in Sensembiano. I think that 2 weeks period will make or break for government. That's almost to me. They have to find a way out of this, and so we are just hoping it would end in the best possible way. At least students know. They are happy, but they are not happy. It means that they know they are going back to school, but within a certain period. How do you take that, uncertainty out? I think that this is a very crucial stage when we draw. If government goes back to the old ways of handling things, they don't fulfill on our promises now. Then we may have a problem on our hand. We're just hoping for the best in all of this.
Well, we're hoping for the best in all of this. Over to me following and also all comments via what they are bringing and pay which media so now all the thoughts, all the views and all comments in Yano at the brain. We'll be glad to hear them, and then let our viewers and our listeners also know. And to Bombardier said, and a payno when you be and sour so. And then you bought some a commercial interview. I will media no so, but yes, I see the any a traffic situation. I will and Hanum say so. Man for Bekaya last week, you didn't come on the traffic situation. I will and Hanum say one of our callers, I think that was within the same week, last week anymore. Of I now lamented about the thick trafficker. A developer the Tema motorway. That's the Tema motorway stretch side of the motorway Now war lamenting about how to see an amount for SEC a dying motorway and chain, and they are all creating roads adjoining motorway which has the likely impact of causing the traffic and maybe sometimes accidents our motorway as well. And about your home modern says call be afraid no raising concerns. We would want to find out for ourselves what the situation is on the Accra Tema motorway or the Tema Accra motorway side of the motorway. And you be saying we say a day and I remember some time back Remo was raising concerns about how the motorway buffer has been taken over by individuals who are building their private homes, their estates, all eating into the buffer which had been created for the motorway. That should be the same. Say expansion worker, maybe utilizing and you see an amount for funnel unapproved routes, baby, and so and about motorway in this one, and this is amount for a utilizer our honum. And I pay it any extra motorway so na Yahadia Koso honum. I remember some time back, and this is an engineer Mahama Edin Kumar. He also raised a similar concern about motorway and the trafficker building up our honum. And he will try and establish contact with my colleague Niankra na on far updating the ordinary who ɛwɔ motorway ne so and into a create a traffic no ɛwɔ a kwan so but see a chassis need in command. I think one of the fundamental issues are a day traffic no eba motorway nation is that some people don't know how to drive on the motorway. Speed lane ya create for motorway. Say open so kwa America minia bra inner lane ni mo. Uni baby a wo kɔ na wo to bus na wo drive 50 60 70 ko aye outer lane ni mo no. Over na car or around 50 kilometers per hour na o di speed lane ni mo na o che traffic na ko bon mo na ko sam na ka say umbra outer lane ni mo na oni ni mo no e di watam. It's one of the very common experiences you will find on the motorway. I believe say this are enkomo we nko ade na e wo say ye de ani e di atwe na ye hwe say do people really know how to drive on such speed lanes? Do people know how to drive on the motorway? It's one of the factors. And see Ray ebano air construction ehun normal any road hu sensem dia I know say una wakodare ewo emu a obetimi ede kakra ede abran but motorway and traffic I will do honum and the buffer zone amount for ACC private properties also.
Sami motorway no I think one of the key reasons we may have challenges on the motorway is Accra has suddenly started developing towards the west, if I may put it that way. And so you have a lot more settlements coming up. After the time roundabout, Oko, Michelle Camp, Oko Bechile, Oko, Mataheko, Oko towards Central University. So I mean, a lot of residents about residential properties about Pewosa areas, a lot of businesses so and it means that a lot more people are heading towards that direction. Now, sa motorway na nkasano, so I mean, it connects Accra to your eastern corridor, your car Volta region, Volta region, Ada, so I mean, into the motorway itself, there's a lot of vehicular movement on it. Now, the state of the road Ankasa is a challenge. The state of driving surface, is a challenge because there are times drivers would have to slow down just to be able to avoid the impact of hitting a certain pothole or corner. So it is not as smooth as you would want it. Again, drivers drive with care anytime they are on the motorway. Now, a lot of roads are leading onto the motorway also. I think in recent times, highway authorities have tried to block roads now Omunya access into the motorway illegally. And I think the only one that you would possibly see from the Accra to Tema stretch, the one you would find at the 18 junction, community 18 junction, which has been well demarcated. It's been properly laid out. Even if you want to join the traffic on the motorway, I'll bet you join it. I think that has been done. And it's a bit of a challenge as to how yenya vehicular traffic on the road. I know when it rains, because of how buffers, encroachment across well and to me assassinate to me soak a lot of water. A lot of water gets onto the motorway. And so when it rains, it's always difficult for motorists on the motorway to ply that route because in motorway, the motorway is submerged in water. That's what happens when it rains. But I mean, unless ABR development because in the course of the day, ABR accidents BSC, especially on the Accra to Tema stretch now. I mean, the only place you may find traffic when you are getting towards the Ashaman underbridge, ABR, if there are a lot of vehicles on the main overpass now, Ashaman overpass now, traffic no Etumiba main road But that aside, you could always find your way towards new roundabouts, KTI, Hono pressure, up down. And accidents to me see our motorway see sana recovery of the tracks and trying to rescue people our vehicles to remember traffic back I think that's what I know. Say it I see. Now if there's any other course na same mudias, I mean ABI say yet to me a connect share the course. But from the Tema to Accra stretch, so I mean normally you would see traffic getting towards the in the mornings, Ubehun traffic getting towards the Accra Mall stretch, because there's a lot of traffic on the main, the Liberation Road from the mall towards 37, Sar Road.
Yeah.
And the cars that would have to use the flyover to get onto that stretch, they're always stuck in traffic. And also cause a lot of challenges, especially in the morning, because of how that road pressure work requirements on Ankasa. But from that point on, moving on to the N1 towards La Paz there, as a pressure no from Kakra. And it used to be the same in the evenings, say Ofri, Accra, Elkoa, because of the toll booth. It is here now, you be a toll booth, I think say vehicular traffic no to me a flow Kakra, I was a stretch, so. And I mean, for me as a road user, these are some of the things that to me identify a motorway. So in the last few times I may use, especially in the evening and in the morning, some of these challenges.
Well, we'll try and afford users, motorists, or more the Tema end, to share with us their experiences on the motorway from their point of view. What may account for the heavy traffic build-up across the motorway no. But young Commander Sina Yeni Ankra ending common on Friday or didn't near Ehun one for Embrace. Good morning. Hello, Ni. Good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Now, it's Zana Paminia.
You are doing the traffic nation and yeah, is the Tamamoto win some nutrition commodity.
But which side now? Accra Tama stretch na nasa Tama Accra stretch no.
I'm on Tama Accra stretch.
Okay, all right. And see, what do you see?
So, Sammy, motorway, sir, because we wanted to have fair idea of what the situation really is. We started our journey from the mall. Air Spanner Junction. We showed the runabout now ever due to the Thema motorway. You will see the second first will be a toll booth. No, the Ashama runabout. We are China Mall or way anyone. So we wanted to return back. But Tama, Yamincha, the time I buy, that's enough. If you are engine they need too much. Into Uber time now the traffic situation is quite or done kana Uchang who will run about Kakra or the second one I said when you are heading the first one when you are heading towards Accra now. The traffic even start from beyond it. Ever have a see the more nature Ube driving onto the Legon stretch now. Wako Legon. Now, Sammy, earlier on, I heard you saying that when you're on the motorway now, some don't know how to call it, how to drive on the motorway. If you look at instead of speed lane now, no other share the Uko slow now, no other share speed lane. Make some Ube on the motorway now. The situation is not like that when you're on the motorway. So if you are heading towards that, you are heading, you know that there's two stretches. So and a speeder ever. Now so it's not moving as you want it to be. It's moving on a lower pace. I'm short of words because we share motorway partner is inner area community because the traffic you don't have anywhere to pass. There was so up to the mall junction. Now, I mean, Chadi, so Accra, you see the Spanner Junction. The moment you descend from the flyover, roundabout now, you see down now, and it's a do village side, and it's and ever see 37 before you see the people dispatching to their various or move different places. It took a PM over the motorway. Currently, we know motorway now, but the traffic situation is not easy. You see the trucks, you see the workers now, or more the civil servants now, the private people. You see that most of them who check are students. Everyone did that. Until Udo buy a school by this time, or Tika, my Yakob 9. Uber do school now, stress. at time the information you also pick me say Adisusan, the situation changes from the other side onto the other side. You see, you face it when you are going also as well. You face it. Since I'm with PMO motorway and the traffic situation, and yet easy. The private cars in the brain now they feel it. You won't say actual disappointment for there are various spaces, but hey, you have nothing to do. You don't have anything, and you have to be in the traffic until time you get to your destination. Like I said, most of them in the private cars are students and we workers are various companies. I call it maybe funny almost self cry or maybe classes say only baby traffic situation in the motorway is not easy. I don't know when it started, but it's not easy as people will say it.
All right, Ni. Maybe some final question. Nothing. You call for a short break, but say Utiano Paya. Now say you haven't been on the motorway. Meaning, just quickly dash to Facebook. My goodness, I can't believe that this is motorway that I'm looking. That's what they say. Inner city, traffic here. You know, your point, my dimuano. I mean, where are the other who are East Legon? Over who are Kaswa? You know, traffic no.
I've heard they say rent around a Honum side, you know, they were from Kakra.
Okay.
So a lot of people are moving to that area. And of course, you would expect to say cars better also or Honum because people are commuting to work and back every day. And I'm sure say even the traffic no who gauge it time and now we won't at a particular time no heavy and then no you want to ever say a man for if you work with German a man for if you were back. And they are solving the problem no or more making sure say rent are relatively cheaper. Rent it's not about 1 year or 2 years it be a senior man to a bit.
Well, you better know about more motive a tema motorway stretch no as no you better say no be dim command pay. How do you survive living in Tema and working in Accra? What's the situation every morning? Neil was painting a picture of Nkoda pupils that one more take care more, one more bread already, one more da, one more ebedu school. What are they really going to learn? Yeah, Danny and Weba will continue the conversation. And you welcome back to the Happy Morning Show. Yedi and Komo, but Medica Kacho said there is a commercial interview on a pay. Yebedi ewo Jimedi no eso until I encourage you so on your Nantiabum, but now me catch on say Ebebo Modena gauge how people around the Tema area no one more survive ewo honum to meet this traffic every blessed morning. And Sana would do Accra Ababe Yejuma na. If the report gave me no is anything to work with that, not just say, oh, poor Juma and you mentioned Wokofi no, you're going to meet the same situation. Say, Ufri a year, Accra, na say, oh, call back to a year Tema, and Tidinano, a year and Koma, and the pay ED, and to say, oh, a year Tema stretch in the swa, now free Tema Eba and Kradeniana Eba Juma. From our number, we say so 0244885140. And 0549508687. Na Imbisao saying Anna living on that stretch, you know, how is it like? First, no one say, yeah, I take us one any old problem. But I didn't the air motor in it is a man for problem. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Cosby. Yes, sir.
I'm from Crowd.
What you say?
I'm not from Crowd.
And not from one.
Mata.
Situation is the same.
I mean, we do not have for the house that we do not have. I have questions. I'm a so my first as a big guy. I
see
yeah. that one, if you anymore, then I think but women Manette Johnson. I want this happening all the way back.
On a normal day, every morning, Biano, how many hours and I'm with the traffic more?
1.5 hours.
1.5 hours.
On the motorway.
Wow. Wow.
The motorway that is 1.5 hours.
Wow. Wow. But I thought to say more other routes are more useful. You see a very beach road. Now, Edward Befa, a Tishinungwa, a Moses Obetia for Spinktest. Are all those not options available to you as Momoti ASIUSE? You prefer the motorway?
Yes, because those things are only
Yeah. Opani, where a bit personal about me so. But why you work in Accra? Why Tema and the rest of the areas? What Temechi on them? Why there?
Okay, so I have always lived outside Accra for years in Accra. The pool that is just living out of the country is one of the reasons outside Accra. The motorway wasn't like it. And so there got a period that almost all the tribes so even if they are on the side of anything they are all now taking the motorway unapproved route that is what they are doing. Passes are setting on the presence of the route are dropping.
All right.
Which manager
All right. Mr. Crosby, I don't say for update out there bring a free the motorway 1.5 hours and I thought so almost a casual for any problem I was for. But for the motorway to have such traffic build up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sammy.
Chief, what's your name?
From Samuel.
Sam,
yes,
on a normal day, motorway would do so. Would you how many hours or so?
Sammy?
Yeah.
Because of this traffic on motorway in Medjania Besha Suchari, na me back for a meeting, I could spend almost 2 hours.
Wow.
So, because of traffic in say free Abba for a meeting in Accra, which will start around 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Also, to free her around 2 a.m.
Wow.
No, I be do Accra at Tinahua till some meeting ever started. Now, your poor meeting, if we Accra, now unfortunately, now Bob is at 4 p.m. We will be do her getting to 12 a.m. and Sanawe do her.
Wow.
Can you imagine? That is the stress we are going through to work within Accra here. And you see, motorway, the designers of the motorway, previously, demarcation, motorway, no development zone area. But all of a sudden, you've seen development coming closer to the motorway. And now it has become a community road. And Ubia Channel link roads, unauthorized roads. And our institutions were there looking at all these things till it has gotten to this point. Why? I was born and bred in Shekam. Those days, look at the Afienya Ashama stretch of the road. Ebatema. There was no traffic.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, traffic has started building up. What were we supposed to do?
All right.
Quickly, there should be structures put in place. Now, Roots are a bit nyafa. All other roots are I don't know what is happening in Ghana. Where are our leaders?
All right.
What is happening?
Sammy, I think that we should have an extensive conversation about Tema motorway and the plight of residents and inhabitants of Omo area no. But sir, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Sammy.
Yes, sir.
I will in here.
Yes, sir.
Sammy, I was born in Tema.
Yeah.
I did everything in Tema. Everything. Sammy, first, I'm going to say another guy and say there's no traffic. And that population, I know down. But phone say when the population start to shoot up, not say leaders, they should be open the other roads. But they don't mind because Omomu used to convoy.
Yeah.
Sammy, those times, who fit them? See, not me driving 14 minutes, not me travel away. Sammy, and yet the rate of amount for is down motorway no more. On roadside, another route which me used to Accra, and no the problem no. The leaders they don't mind. And who used to beach road and also a killer. But what we say after beach road no, that's what we do no. So who in town now, who between and dodges abeta mama road no. Every Bema camp for me. But so we should be so 2 ways straight to way to 2 hours here. And also I know can be about say speed lane no say it doesn't work. Please that way no man it doesn't work. Morning traffic will have it remain to Tema. And you don't have any other route to dodge to Tema or to Accra. That is the problem.
Ima Meadows and a pace of Freminanime D and Como and a pay Yanni Hantech for AD and Como a band of forex and who ends and some a band of trading and who ends and some. It's been one of the things that the youth have taken up our my way say more Asia and normal be FA a year forex trading and whom you see a lot of people on their phones using applications and they are trading on behalf of people. But what it really means in Ankasano, you said that NTS but Hantech for the one more specialized in it. A banner entity, a banner additure, a banner addition, a far a year, harnessing the power of technology, and then a banner forex trading one more aquadari more and a pay many more AD and Como. Opening I friend of Frank. Awun Limai, where you're head of education Hantech markets. I become in Sanopaya, Menino AD and Como. Frank, good morning.
Good morning.
Is the tree suspect or is not suspect?
It's a bit okay. So
it's a bit
I'll
okay.
Chip in with the tree.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
But Yenin Como, Hantech, mo.
Okay, so Hantech is a forex brokerage firm that was established 32 years ago.
Okay.
In Hong Kong, and as the company started making strides, they decided to spread their tentacles across the globe.
Okay.
And they started opening offices in other countries. And one of the latest offices that was opened is the Ghana office, which was opened officially in 2021. Yes, that's just last year.
All right. So
Hantech specializes in offering forex traders a platform to trade, but that's not the only thing we do. We also teach people how the market works.
Okay.
So they can come onto the platform and trade for a living.
All right. So you have your own platform, you trade.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Now, this whole trading business and the forex and all, what's in it? How does it work?
Okay. So I'm going to explain it in the best way possible, so even the layman can understand. So usually I like to start from what a lot of people know. From the known to the unknown. I start from what people know, then I gradually go to what they don't know. What a lot of people know is Forex Bureau. Now, they are not the same at all, and they are not even on the same scale. But there's a little similarity. And what's that similarity? If you go to the Forex Bureau, let's say you go there with $100, and you go over there, obviously we don't spend dollars in Ghana here. So you
Yeah.
go over there, you give them the $100, and they give you its equivalents in cedis.
Yeah.
So at a rate,
Mm.
an exchange is made. You are giving out your dollars, and then you are getting cedis in return.
Mm.
And they are giving you dollars, and then they are giving you cedis, and then they are taking your dollars in return.
Mm.
So there's an exchange of one currency for another. When you come to the forex market, something very similar happens, but it happens on a large platform referred to as the interbank market, where you have big players, central banks, big investment banks, and then orthodox banks. Then they do these kind of transactions on a very large scale. We are talking of trillions of dollars. So that is the interbank market. Then you come to our world, which is referred to as a retailing world, where it majorly consists of brokers and retail traders. So the brokers work hand in hand with these what we refer to as liquidity providers at the interbank level. I'm talking of the major banks over there. So there are certain assets. When we talk of forex specifically, we are referring to currency trading. But then you can also trade other assets on the brokers platform, like gold, silver. Those are commodities, like indices, like stocks. Those ones are classified under what we refer to as CFDs. So they are very similar. CFDs and forex currencies are very similar. So all these assets are available on the brokers platform. The broker gets them from these liquidity providers, then offers them to the retail traders. So the retail trader comes onto the brokers platform and is able to trade through the broker to the interbank market. So what we are doing on our side as a retail world, we are dealing in a speculative market. We look at data, or should I say history, and then based on the data that we have gathered, we're able to tell, it's in chart format. We're able to tell where the market is likely to go next. So if everything I'm seeing on a particular chart for a particular currency pair or a commodity is telling me that it wants to go up to this level, I'm speculating that it's going to move up from this price to that price. So I take what we refer to as long positions, that is buy. And if indeed it moves in that direction, it means that at the interbank level, that is what is actually happening. So if it moves in the level that in the direction that I took my trade, I make money. That is basically how it works.
Well, so let's say I have 1,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And then I decide that I want to trade. You gave us the example of the Forex Bureau.
Yeah.
If I send my 100 Ghana cedis, my 1,000 Ghana cedis to the Forex Bureau, then I'm looking for $1.
Yeah.
They'll give me that equivalent.
Yes, at a certain rate.
When it comes to the Forex trading, with my $100, what am I trading in?
That's what I'm saying. These assets classified into currencies and then CFDs, and I already explained what the CFDs stand for. They are all available on the platform. So when you make a deposit into your account, you go onto the platform, and then depending on which particular asset that you want to trade, you analyze it. And then when you analyze it, based on the data that you have, and it's in the chart format, the chart is a representation of price and time. So you look at the prices, and you also consider the time. Then based on what you are seeing from the data, you can tell that this particular currency pair is likely to move up to this level. So you enter positions at that level. So if you move to the level that you are anticipating in that direction, you make money. That's a speculative side of it. That is what we do in the retailing world. But that's not exactly how it happens at the interbank level. You understand? Yeah. So that is not. That's why I was saying that there are some similarities between that one and the Forex Bureau, but they are not the same, and they are not even on the same scale. So we trade that way. If I trade, let's say I'm buying, and then it moves up in a particular for a particular number of what we refer to as pips, I make money from it.
All right. So you said that you teach these things as much as you have the platform.
Yeah.
If I want to learn, how long will it take me to learn this Forex trading?
Okay. So last year we had a 6-week course period. It was taking people 6 weeks to go through the training. Then after they have learned it, then we now help them to practice, so they can make money from it consistently. But then we realized that the 6-week period was taking too long for most people, and then it was too comprehensive. So a lot of people were finding it hard to really understand it. So we decided to, and I am in charge of that, I decided to condense it into something much simpler. And it will amaze you how simple it is now. So you come in, it shouldn't take you anything more than 3 weeks to learn. So within 3 weeks, you should be able to do some basic analysis. And the truth is, it's not difficult to analyze the charts. It's not difficult at all if you are getting the information from the right source. Some people make it complicated, but at our place, it's very simple. So even as simple as it is, I decided to make it even much simpler so that it doesn't seem abstract or like rocket science to a lot of people. So it's very simple. Within 2-3 weeks, you should be done. Then you start practicing.
All right.
Yeah.
But how lucrative is this business of forex trading?
Well, of all the sub-markets under the financial, there's an industry referred to as a financial market where you have the forex market itself, you have the stock market, you have commodities, you have futures. There are a lot of them. Amongst all of them, the forex market is the single most lucrative. What do I mean by that? It generates much more money than all the other markets. As I'm speaking to you, the forex market globally is currently generating about $6 trillion a day. It's a global market.
Yeah.
And every day, from Monday to Friday, every single day, that's the average that it generates. Now, if you add the 20 biggest stock exchanges in the world, it's not even up to quarter of what the forex market is generating globally. So it's a very lucrative industry. And if you come into it, what you have to do is to learn how it works so you can make money from it. And it has the potential to change your life. I mean, this is not what I studied in school. I practiced to become a biomedical scientist. I went to UCC. But then, when I got onto the field to practice, I realized that even though it's a very good job, I didn't get any sense of fulfillment from it. And I wanted something that was much better and challenging. And I found my hands on this, and it has changed my life. Yeah, so it has the potential to change your life financially.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's very lucrative.
How does your platform make it easy for newcomers like us to either process the data which is given on the platform and to make some money?
Okay, so what we do is we start from the very beginning, the basics.
Okay.
And when you are new to it, you are a lay person. So we start to explain it to you in layman terms, so it doesn't sound like we are talking abstract. It will make sense to you. Then we build you up from there, from the basic level. Then it will get to a point where we start to introduce the technical terms to you. And so we do that to make the process very easy. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's a very easy, that's what I'm saying, it's not any complex process. As for learning how to analyze the markets, it's not difficult if you are getting the information from the right source. Yeah.
All right, now let me ask my final 2 questions, and then there's some fear. There is some skepticism about this trading thing. Some say, oh, it's a place for scammers, and
we get that a lot.
Yeah. Is that true? Is that a concern?
Okay, so the business itself is no scam. It's not a scam. The business itself is not a scam. But there are scammers within the industry. So when you come into it, especially as a newbie, you have to be very vigilant. And you have to make sure you are getting your information from the right source. If not, people can scam you. When I started, I was a victim of, or I almost became a victim. When you join a broker's platform, there's something called MT4 that they give to you.
Okay.
You are entitled to it automatically once you decide to trade. That's a platform on which you are going to trade.
Yeah.
Now, when I was coming into the industry, somebody wanted to sell it to me, but it's not for sale.
Yeah.
It's actually the broker that gives you. So the guy realized that I was green and he wanted to scam me, but I got saved by a friend who was already into it.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's just an instance of how people can scam you. When they realize that you are green and naive, they try to do those things. So you have to be vigilant and you have to get a lot of information from it. So the thing itself is not a scam, but there are scammers within it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I've heard people say that they have had people trading on their behalf. How safe is that?
Personally, I don't advise people to give their money to other people to trade for them. I always tell people that it's good that you yourself learn how it works and then you trade, because we've had instances where people give their money to other people to trade for them and then they run away with the money. You understand? Like yesterday I was speaking to a lady, she came over to the office, she said she gave somebody, she met a person online on Telegram and the person said he was a trader, so she gave him $200 or so, and when she gave the money to him, she never heard from him again. And besides that, when you give your money to other people, there's a chance that they could lose it. But if you yourself take the trouble to learn how it works, even if you lose the money, you have gained the experience. You are going to learn from the mistakes you made that led to you losing the money. So when you come back again, you are not going to repeat that mistake. So personally, I don't advise people to give their money to others to trade for them. You yourself should learn how it works.
All right.
Yeah.
After this conversation, we have to meet.
Yeah, sure.
One-on-one, me and you. It's not class matter.
Sure.
No, this one is not course matter. This one is me and you, brother to brother. Then Charlie, we talk.
Yeah, we do. For people who are very busy and can't come over to the office, we have online sessions.
Okay,
through
that's
Zoom.
fine. That's fine. Because
Yes,
some time
that
ago,
will
I
teach.
downloaded an application on the Google Play Store to take me through, all this trading thing, but I got lost along the way.
Yeah,
So,
when you go online, you don't get a lot of concrete information.
so I got lost. And so we would have to do that. But
Yeah, sure.
if anybody is following the conversation and wants to get in touch with Hantech, where does the person find you? What numbers are
Okay, so our
there to
office is at Osu, Noi Osikan Close.
Okay.
Where our building is over there. It's a white building. When you get there, we are very close to Saham. Is it Saham or Shaham Insurance?
Okay.
Their building is next to ours. So when you get to the Noi Osikan Close, that's lane, you see the office right there. It's a very nice white building.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a number to call for inquiries?
Yes, the truth is I was supposed to take certain numbers and give them, but that escaped. So I'll give my work number so people can reach me on that, then I refer them to whoever they have to talk.
That's fine.
Yeah. So the number is 054 096 2419.
Okay, please take it again.
054 096 2419.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Any social media footprints, any social media handles or anything?
Yeah,
like
my social media handle is Hunter_HMKTS.
Okay.
Hunter_HMKTS. But then you can check us up on Facebook, and then we also have our Hunter Ghana Instagram page. When you go over there and search for us, you see us.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
So, bro, final words to listeners and viewers.
Okay, so what I want to say is people should really seize the opportunity to learn Forex trading. And we do it for free. I forgot to mention that. We do not charge anything for it. It's absolutely free of charge. But the fact that it's free of charge does not mean it's not of the highest quality.
Yeah.
It amazes people how quality our education is, and yet it is free of charge. So in this day and age when there's a lot of unemployment, this can be a very viable option for the youth.
Yeah.
You have to learn how it works. If you learn how it works, and then we teach you how to, because there's risk in it too. We teach you how to manage that risk. In the long run, you realize that you can make a living out of it. There are people who do this in the comfort of their home. They don't even need an office space. All they need is internet and a computer or their phone, and they're able to do it. So I would like to intrigue the youth to learn how this works.
All right.
Not only the youth, but businessmen or what have you. This is a very viable option for you to look at, like to set up another form of investment portfolio. Because if you are rich, if you are already rich, Forex can make you even richer.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
So people should seize the opportunity to learn. We are ready. Our doors are open to anyone that is ready to learn how to trade, and it's absolutely free of charge.
Frank, I'm grateful you joined me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And Frank is the head of education for Hantech Markets. He joined me this morning live on the show. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll be here. But there's a lot more to discuss. Do stay with us.